Yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome. Do hit that like button on your way in. I've been noticing this theme for a little while now, how black women seem to be not just at the forefront. They're not just the spearhead of this like intense amount of racial grievance. They are the heart and soul of it. And that is their role in mainstream media. And we're going to talk about that today.
Get to the chopper!
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
We know he's being God and he no longer can be here. In honor of his legacy, we're not rioting, God. We're not shaming anybody, God. We're just humbling ourselves before you. Yes, Lord. You brought the thunder and rain today, God. Because Satan takes the L today. Father, in Jesus' name, you get the victory. Father, we ask for forgiveness from our black brothers and sisters for years and years of racism, of systematic racism. We know he's being God and he no longer can be here. In honor of his legacy, we're not rioting, God. We're not shaming anybody, God. We're just humbling ourselves before you. Yes, Lord. You brought the thunder and rain today, God. Because Satan takes the L today. Father, in Jesus' name, you get the victory. Father, we ask for forgiveness from our black brothers and sisters for years and years of racism, of systematic. Get to the chopper!
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy!
Yo, all right. What's good? We are back. Can you guys hear me? All right, yeah, all right. We moving, we good. All right, welcome to the show. We gotta ease into the conversation as I like to do, because your boy Tucker Carlson, he had some words to say the other day about, America's top black women, I guess you can call them. They are at the top of their craft right now when it comes to black women in the media, and especially in political media. Oh yeah. And again, it has been just a personal pet peeve of mine to kind of focus in on black women as a political class, like black women as a political group, because we all I listen to a lot of black manosphere content, and I don't necessarily consider myself of the manosphere per se, but I'm heavily informed by it, right? So I don't really deny any connection or whatever. But in the black manosphere, you tend to get conversations more of the personal, right? And there is a phrase that it's more of a political phrase. It's something that came out. I forget where I heard it from first years ago, but basically the idea of the personal being political. And that's kind of where I take it. But in the black manosphere, we mostly get the personal context of the disagreement between black men and black women. And I want to play a clip for you guys to highlight this. And, shout out to the late, great Godfather. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels.
I'm 57.
57. All right. What do you got for me? What are we talking about?
I just want to know why you have such a negative opinion of black women.
Do you really want to start that way off with me?
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm. Are you single or are you married?
I was married. I am
You're
single
single.
now.
You're divorced?
I am divorced.
How long have you been divorced?
Since I was 40.
Any children?
And again, I love to highlight how the modern Democrat Party is essentially the party of her demographic. Divorced single mothers who let's just say are at odds with men and certain elements of masculinity, or at the very least, they just don't know what they think they know. They have questions they don't understand.
Children?
I have 4 children, 7 grandchildren.
Any sons?
I have 2 sons, 2 daughters.
Are they married, your sons?
My sons are not married.
Mm-hmm. What
Neither are my daughters.
What am I asking black women to do that your sons would disagree with?
I think my sons kind of look at me and they don't want to be married to black women.
I said,
They
what am I
actually want
asking
to
black
be
women to
married
do that your sons would disagree with?
Oh yeah, let's fight those marriage rates, boys. Let's keep the marriage rates low for a little while longer. The lower it goes, the more they'll scream. Let's keep it just a little lower, just a little while longer.
I'm not sure.
Your sons look at you and they don't want to be married to black women?
Yes.
Do they love you?
Yes.
Then why don't they want to be married to what looks like you?
I'm a very forceful woman.
Mm-hmm. So what was the initial question you asked me? Looks like you.
I'm a very forceful woman. I'm a very forceful woman.
Mm-hmm. So what was the initial question you asked me?
Yeah, what about black women don't you like?
Probably the same things your son don't like about you.
That could be true.
Mm-hmm. And I don't hate
think
black
it's a
women,
weak
dislike
argument.
black women. Black women like yourself just don't like a mirror being held up to you with facts, data, and statistics. Your son holds a mirror. Your sons have determined.
And shout out to facts, data, and statistics. Those are 3 good friends of mine. You guys see them every now and then making the rounds in these YouTube discussions. But yeah, listen, I don't know where I would be right now without facts, data, and statistics. Some of the best people I ever met. Shout out to facts, data, and statistics. Yo, they the homies.
Who their mate choice, your sons would likely not disagree with anything. And they have not chosen their own reflection based upon the woman that raised them. Why have your sons rejected you?
I don't think that they have.
Why your sons rejecting you? Yes. And in the grander scheme of things, right? Why are black men so disgruntled with black women? What could it be? What could it be? All right, obviously, there's the personal, right? Your mom Dukes and them, they be on some other shit. That's just, it is what it is with the mamas and them. Shout out to all the moms out there. But like I said, I have been noticing that there are a lot of black women who are really, really knee deep in politics, especially. And it's just becoming more and more obvious that the politics of black women doesn't really support black men. the way they say it does, right? They talk a great game. I will give them that. They talk a great game. And the thing that kind of like keeps them relevant with black men basically is they get to hide behind racism, or they get to drum up instances of racism so we can feel collective sympathy and then aim it at whatever black girl is the target of the day. But that's pretty much the gist of it. But their politics are increasingly beyond the pale, I guess you could say, right? There's almost no coming back. It's like there had to have been a point of no return for black women politically, and it probably happened when I was a little boy, when I was just a baby boy. It was too late then.
Just asked you, you're running for governor of Georgia. I would assume, maybe incorrectly, but while abortion is an issue, it nowhere reaches the level of interest of voters in terms of the cost of gas, food, bread, milk, things like that. What could you do as governor to alleviate the concerns of Georgia voters about those livability, daily, hourly issues that they're confronted with?
But let's be clear. Having children is why you're worried about your price for gas. It's why you're concerned about how much food costs. For women, this is not a reductive issue. You can't. Having children is why you're worried about your price for gas. But let's be clear. Having children is why you're worried about your price for gas. It's why you're concerned about how much food costs. But let's be clear. Having children is why you're worried about your price for gas. It's why you're concerned about how much food costs. For women, this is not a reductive issue. You can't divorce being forced to carry an unwanted pregnancy from the economic realities of having a child. And so it's important for us to have both and conversations. We don't have the luxury of reducing it or separating them out, but we also have to talk about what a governor can do. A governor.
Yeah, in case you don't get it, if you didn't have babies, especially black women, right, you wouldn't feel the pinch of inflation. It might even go down. So, I mean, the less babies you have, right, the lower the inflation rate. And we're talking about black babies, right? Black babies somehow have an inverse effect on the inflation rate, apparently. And so, apparently, I didn't know Stacey Abrams was like an economist or whatever, but kudos to Stacey.
Can address housing prices. A governor can address the cost of education. A governor can put money into the pockets of everyday hardworking Georgians instead of giving tax cuts to the wealthy. That's what I talk about on the trail, and that's what's resonating. But let's not pretend that women, half the population, especially those of childbearing age, they understand that having a child is absolutely an economic issue. It is only politicians who see it as simply another cultural conversation. It is a real biological and economic imperative conversation that women need to have.
Ms. Abrams, this is Eddie Glaude. I want, first of all, congratulations. We're both going to be celebrating.
Yeah, yes, Trey. Yes, Trey. You heard that correctly. That was an argument to abort the poor. Have anybody else noticed this? Because this is a weird thing I notice every now and then. Like I get commercials every so often, and actually some of them are even political. I think they are political ads now, where once upon a time, right, they used to do ads about abortion or little promos or whatever you want to call it about abortion. And it was almost always like some kind of tragic circumstance, right? It was almost always like some little girl or some woman had been assaulted by some strange guy, and now she was stuck with this situation. And lately, the ads have been just flat out like, oh my God, I would have never graduated from college had I not had this procedure, this medical procedure. I'm like, whoa! So we're just admitting now, like it was basically a sacrifice for your career, right? Can we call it that now? Can we actually call it a sacrifice? Like you sacrificed the baby, right? That's what you did, right? Like, and they're actually putting this in political ads now. Like it's getting creepy out here, where they're basically owning the whole like reality of it almost in a weird, perverse way. It's like, look, I got into a situation and I would be stuck forever if it wasn't for this medical procedure. So, vote Democrat this November. Like, whoa, that was too honest. That was too honest for a political ad. That was like so on the nose. I'm almost afraid of where it goes. And again, black women are not opposed to aborting perhaps selectively even. Shout out to all the little baby boys who ain't gonna make it. Black women are not opposed to thinning the herd as they see fit, right? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they are on the rise. They are winning. They're successful right now.
And joining me now is the great Michelle Sindor, NBC News Washington correspondent and moderator of Washington Week on PBS, and a hero of the journalism game, my sister.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this, and we're going to just go and put it up on stage. This is on the screen. Val Demings, Sherry Beasley, Natalie James, and Crystal Matthews are all running for United States Senate. Florida, North Carolina, Arkansas, South Carolina, and then in Georgia, Iowa, and Alabama, Stacey Abrams, Deirdre DeGier, and Yolanda Flowers running for governor. Black women, Democrats could not win without black women. Let's just be clear. Black women turn out at 96% for Democrats and vote at the highest percentage rate of any group of Americans.
Yep.
Women. Let's just be clear. Black women, Democrats could not win without black women. Let's just be clear. Democrats could not win without black women. Let's just, Stacey.
Hey, I remember this girl right here. Hey, shout out to Crystal Matthews. This is the girl. I'm pretty sure she's the one who got caught on tape. Yeah, South Carolina. Yep, that's you. That's you. We covered that. Remember her jail phone call? Like, how you running for office and you out here accepting jail phone calls from random niggas and shit, trying to chop it up politically? Like, what kind of shit even if you hadn't said any of the stupid things that you actually did get recorded saying, right? It's just the idea of it all. Like, you up here trying to run for, an even higher office, right? You already you already are in office on the state level. You trying to get up into the national level. You want to be a senator, for Christ's sake, right? You want to actually get to the federal government. And you still getting them phone calls like, you have 3 minutes left. You have a collect phone call from South Carolina Correctional Institute. Would you like to accept the call, Senator? Like, what the hell? What the hell? Yeah, Tice. I'm gonna open it up a little bit later.
The Abrams, Deirdre DeGier, and Yolanda Flowers running for governor. Black women, Democrats could not win without black women. Let's just be clear. Black women turn out at 96% for Democrats and vote at the highest percentage rate of any group of Americans.
Yep.
But I wonder if the presence of a black woman candidate for statewide office is impacting black women's enthusiasm. And actually, is that just marginal because it's already high?
It's a great question. I think it's in some ways marginal because black women are already really hitting the top numbers when it comes to voter turnout, when it comes to enthusiasm. And also black women, when I talk to them, they're used to showing up for a party at times, like the Democrats at times, that don't have them on the ballot. So when I talk to these women and voters, they say, we love this, what they call a movement of black women showing up and running for office. But they're also saying, well, at the end of the day, is it really going to help Val Demings make that little bit of difference, those 2 or 3% to beat Marco Rubio? I'm not sure. What I can tell you is in talking to these candidates,
you know what I just realized too, and this is just probably, I think, just the nature of the culture, right? You see how you have a group of, like, you got a black woman's show and her black female guest, and Yamiche Alcindor, I think is her name. She's, no rookie, right? She's been around. And I don't know that they've ever done a presentation about, like, all the black men running for office, right? They just a highlight of them specifically, the way they're highlighting black women now. Because I know, on the other hand, if there was a show with like black men, especially a mainstream show with black men talking politics like this, they would have a segment, look at all these beautiful sisters running for office. It's just a thought.
this double pane glass ceiling that I described, this twin challenge of misogyny and racism that Black women face when they're running for office is real. You have people who doubt Black women, voters who say, are we going to actually get a Black woman who's going to be a governor of a state? And that impacts money, that impacts the millions.
Oh, did she just say there was misogyny and racism against Black female voters?
Is real. You have people who doubt Black women, ceiling that I described, this twin challenge of misogyny and racism that Black women face when they're running for office is real. You have people who doubt Black women, voters who say, are we going to actually get a Black woman who's going to be a governor?
You know what? I'll eat some of that. Yeah. Misogyny and racism. Yeah, I will definitely eat some of that. You're going to respect my misogyny, and I don't want to vote for a Black woman. So, respect my racism too, I guess. If that's what you want to do, then, well, we're here now.
Governor of a state, and that impacts money, that impacts the millions and millions of dollars that you need to actually run successfully in this country. Yeah. And then there's the racism, right? We have to talk about the fact when you think about someone like Kamala Harris, she faced birtherism 2.0. We talk a lot about President Obama, but there are people saying this woman who is an American citizen, but who has Jamaican and Indian ancestry, is she eligible to be the VP? And even in Iowa, I had some critics who said, Governor Kim Reynolds, who is running in Iowa, the current Iowa governor, she's running ads against Deidre DeJear, who's the Black woman running against her, but they're featuring Cori Bush talking about defunding the police. So there are some who are saying, okay, if you're going to attack a Black woman, why are you using another Black woman to do that? So there are people that are looking at it and saying Black women also face the sort of unique challenge of being lumped together, of having racially charged ads going after them. So there's all that going on, but it's a good question.
Right. The Black women are out here taking over. I've been trying to warn you guys about the takeover, y'all. I've been talking about this takeover for years now.
We are absolutely winning right now. Absolutely. We have done more than change the conversation. We changed the balance of power in the federal government.
And I want you to notice something. So I'm not going to play the entirety of this clip because it's a little longish, but again, you don't see highlights like this on the male side, right? There are just oodles and oodles of highlight reels of, Black women, quote unquote, working for the community, right? They're trying to fight for the community, allegedly.
Hey fam, I'm Imayan. And I hit the road before the U.S.'s coronavirus outbreak to discover the role Black women play in the electorate, the voter suppression challenges they face, and why the centennial anniversary of women's suffrage doesn't mean what you think.
You matter. If you're thinking about not voting today, make a different decision.
I'm riding through North Carolina on what's known as the blackest bus in America.
My vote matters.
After the beat, won't you back that bus?
See Black women down in the gutter. They down in the mud. They out in the backwoods rallying the troops. Like, this is how the community gets together, right? This is what community organizing looks like. Black women getting the vote out.
The Black Voters Matters bus is eagerly weaving its way through narrow lanes in the hopes of galvanizing voters. And the carriage is fueled by the power of Black women trying to ignite a community.
We are doing our one-day
This bus is eagerly weaving its way through narrow lanes in the hopes of galvanizing voters. And the carriage is fueled by the power of Black women trying to ignite a community.
We are doing our one-day Super Tuesday bus tour. So excited.
Why are you so excited?
Because it's a bus tour.
This tour is what democracy looks like to activist Danielle Brown.
I do this work because
and notice how a lot of these women appear to be of, the rainbow persuasion, right? I don't know. You probably still like dudes on the low, but, you got the rainbow vibe, right?
Because it's essential to rural areas, to where we live. I come from a rural area. I know what it's like to have people come visit your home every 4 years and saturate your town and become just simply a number.
For Brown and her colleagues, emphasizing voters over voting is paramount.
We say Black voters matter because we put the power and the love behind the person and not necessarily the vote. It's not just about your vote, it's about you as a person.
Brown and the women alongside her are the latest part of a lineage of Black women in the U.S. organizing around voting rights.
So it's very important that we understand that Black women hold that power. They wouldn't be trying to take it away from us if we didn't. It's very important that we understand that Black women hold that power. They wouldn't be trying.
Yo, that is a big red butt. Like that is like a giant red. I don't think I've ever seen a big red butt like that before. That is a lot of red. Like that should look like a big ass clown nose. Honk. Just want to honk that shit.
Trying to take it away from us if we didn't.
Black women are less than 8% of the U.S. electorate, and yet their voter turnout surpassed all other races and genders in 2008 and in 2012. While history says women received voting rights a century ago,
on August 26, 1920, the 19th Amendment becomes law.
reality knows Black women didn't secure the right to vote until 1965.
The Voting Rights Act is not just a victory for Black Americans. In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., it enriches the lives of all Americans.
Look, still stuck in the past. They trying to ride on history forever.
Even before that day, Black women and Black girls had spent decades putting their safety at risk for the cause. Linda Lowry was one of those young Black people, one Bloody Sunday on March 7th, 1965.
Selma is still trying to heal. Seeing this white, she looked like a rag doll. She looked like she was dead.
Named for a Confederate in Selma this year. In March of 1913.
Oh, they straight went back to the past. I don't feel like doing a nigga dance through history right now. But you get the vibe, like Black women out there, right, on the ground, marching for the cause, right? And in the media right now, you know, Black women are the shit, right? Black women are incredibly popular in the media lately. I don't know if you guys noticed. They've been getting all the new roles popping up as, they take even white men's jobs, They really out here doing it. And shout out to all the Black women in the media, No hate. I see it. I feel y'all. Y'all do y'all thing. Y'all do y'all thing in the media. I get it. However, there has been one guy who has kind of been like, oh, you know what? Speaking of the NHL, it's so funny you say that. It's so funny you say that. Actually, I should pull that up right damn now. It's so funny you say that because Black women, Black women are on ice right now. Yes, Black women are on ice right now. You got a Black woman working for the NHL. Yes, they have totally moved to the ice, right? Weaves on Ice. A new show brought to you by Shaquisha and them. The NHL's first, and this is a quote from AP Sports, the NHL's first internal demographic study found its workforce to be overwhelmingly white. Kim Davis, the NHL EVP of Social Impact, right, that's her title, the EVP of Social Impact, Growth and Legislative Affairs, says seeing the numbers is a first step towards fixing the problem. Yeah. Listen, they don't even want to let the white man have his hockey.
It says that we are where we expected to be, but now we have the facts to back it up. I think the one area that we are feeling positive about is that 38% of our workforce are women. We've done a lot of work to improve in that area. And it's very consistent with our current female fan base of 40%, and so that's a great benchmark. Having said that, we know we have work to do with women of color, and we're leaning into that. I think with women of color, and we're leaning into that. Having said that, we know we have work to do with women of color, and we're leaning into that. Having said that, we know we have work to do with women of color, and we're leaning into that.
Yeah. The way to fix hockey is to have more Black women. Yeah. You know what makes the white man's ice even colder? Because everybody knows how, infamously cold the white man's ice is, right? But There's one thing, and the white man has apparently figured it out. She sees there's the white man right there behind her, right? Apparently, the white man has figured out that the one thing that will make his ice even colder is a black woman. Who knew? Fuck, who knew? The one thing that will make the white man's ice a little bit colder is a goddamn black woman. God, you learn something every day.
I think the thing that you should take away from the workforce study is that it is a progressive outlook on how you begin to manage your talent. And it is progressive in that it's a self-identified report. So of our approximately 4,200 employees across the league and the club, 67% of our employees participated in it, and this is how they self-identified. And we will take this benchmark every 2 years and measure our progress over time.
2 years from now, hockey is going to start to suck, y'all. 2 years from now, they're going to have BLM jerseys. They're going to be kneeling on the ice and shit. They're going to have, like, Trayvon Martin's name on the puck. Well, actually, no, they couldn't have his name on the puck. They're going to have, like, Derek Chauvin's name on the puck so they could, like, symbolically slap Derek Chauvin around. Like, in a couple of years from now, hockey's going to really suck balls. I'm sorry to tell you, hockey fans. We got a Canadian in the fan. Shout out to my man from Canada. Yeah, Ragnarok, hockey's going to suck for you. I'm sorry to tell you that. Yeah, yes, bro. It's taken over by the Ice Queens. It's taken over by the Ice Queens now. I'm telling you, BLM on ice coming to you 2 years from now. Just wait. But yes, bro, Chauvin pucks, bro. I started to say Trayvon Martin, but then I realized it won't work symbolically. The imagery wouldn't be all wrong. A bunch of white guys smacking Trayvon around. But you throw Derek Chauvin in there, boom, you got your racist boogeyman, right? But I want to actually move on. Like I was saying, there has been one guy, as popular as black women are in pretty much every institution of American life, corporate, public, educational, wherever you can think, black women are basically like the people of the day, right? They are required reading everywhere you go. And there has been one guy who has been kind of sort of like, chafing under the new rule system about black women being automatically loved everywhere. And, that's my boy Tucker. Tucker has been, in his own, TV approved way, he's been saying some things that, raise an eyebrow.
I wrote a book on crime once 30 years ago. I think it is pretty complicated, actually. And I do think there are abuses. I was a police reporter. I've seen them. On the other hand, you got to tell kids, like, you're not allowed to steal shit. You can't. You're not allowed to steal stuff. You can't be out at night with a gun. You can't shoot people because you're mad. And, like, nobody's telling kids that. And I'm not, like, who's responsible? I mean, honestly, at a certain point, it's like there's just a lot of bad parenting going on. At some point, it doesn't kind of matter whether you send the police or some hyper-trained social worker. If your people letting their kids run around at night with guns, I wouldn't let my kids do that. You wouldn't let your kids do that. Like, at a certain point, you have to blame the moms. Like, why are they allowing that? Honest.
Whoa. Did you just blame the moms for the crime rate that is largely focused around the black and brown kids, right? Did you just blame the moms? Really, Tuck? That's what you're going to do?
How dare you say that we are not interested in families in the black community?
Honestly, like, what people are stealing openly from stores? Like, why would you ever put up with that? Why would you ever say that's okay? This whole patronizing, well, they're black, it's all right. We can't. No, it's not okay. It's not okay to steal. It's never okay. Period. It's all right. We can't. No, it's okay. This whole patronizing, well, they're black, it's all right. We can't. This whole patronizing, well, they're black, it's all right. We can't. This whole patronizing, well, they're black, it's all right. We can't. No, it's not okay. It's not okay to steal. It's never okay. Period.
I don't.
It's mostly, whatever. Anyway, I just think we shouldn't put up with that shit because society falls apart when we do. everyone knows this. It's super.
Trey, are you telling me that Tucker knows just like intuitively that the black kids don't have dads? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Trey? Come on, Trey. You're accusing Tucker of racism. How dare you say? How dare you say Tucker Carlson thinks all the black kids don't actually have dads? That's why they're criminals. Don't accuse him of that.
How dare you say that we are not interested in families in the Black community?
Obvious. I bet your grandparents wouldn't put up with it. I bet if you were like, oh, I'm gonna go to Walgreens and like steal laundry detergent, they'd like smack you in the head and be like, no, you can't. You didn't. You know what I mean? You're not allowed to steal. Like it's not hard to restore order. You just have to want to, I think.
And so, right, that's my boy Tuck, right? Pointing out the things that you're not supposed to point out, you know, especially as a white man. That's kind of the problem. As a white man, Tucker Carlson is not supposed to notice things, right? And you know, I notice things. I'm a guy who notices things, and Tucker Carlson himself, he too is a guy who notices things, and I guess he's noticed something that is kind of irking some of the sister girls lately, like you know the black women folk. They not really feeling Tucker, and Tucker's calling them out directly. And this is we got to watch this. We got to break this down. And there's going to be a guest at the end of this that you guys might like, but yeah, Tucker he did his thing. Him and his guest, I like this little clip here because it kind of went right to the heart of things that I noticed as well.
More than 500,000 Tutsis were murdered, in many cases by Hutus whose rage had been stoked to violence by RTLM's broadcasts. Entire Tutsi families were dragged from their homes and hacked to death with machetes. Hundreds of thousands of women were raped. The world watched in horror as it happened, but did nothing to intervene. Instead, our leaders told us at the time, the genocide in Rwanda would live forever as a lesson to the rest of us about the capacity for evil that lurks inside every human heart and the dangers of reducing our neighbors to the sum total of their ethnicity. They're individuals, not ethnic groups. Bill Clinton gave an eloquent speech actually on the subject in Kigali back in 1998. Look it up and ask yourself as you read it, if any Democratic Party official could today say those same words. It's hard to imagine given what plays on a loop on that party's cable news arm, MSNBC. Have you watched MSNBC lately?
Yeah, shout out to MSNBC too. You know, they love the black women's over there. They really do love the black women's on MSNBC. You know, shout out to y'all. Respect to the queens.
Likely you haven't. Like the Tutsis, you're not the target audience, but you should tune in sometime. It's remarkable. Given that opposing racism is America's national religion, it may surprise you to learn that open race hate forms much of the substance of that channel's programming. And when we say race hate, we're not referring to the subtle coded variety. You want border security? You giving your kids piano lessons? You like Shakespeare? You believe in the SAT? You must be a racist. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the kind of race hate you cannot mistake for anything else, the kind where people just come out and announce, I hate this race of people, and here's why I do. It's hard to believe that anything like that is happening right now on American television, but it is, out in the open. And the most amazing and the most creepy part of all is that no one is saying anything about it.
You know, Free Zone, I read your comment, and at first I thought, you know what, I should go through the comments. And then I was like, you know, on second thought, it's probably going to be a lot of jokes that I don't want to play on air. a lot of jokes that got to make the cutting room floor. Like, nah, I don't know if I want to scroll through it. Twitter is vicious sometimes. Twitter is deep. I love Twitter. Like, Twitter be going ham sometimes.
About it. It's all but ignored. And honestly, we had no idea it was going on either until we started getting texts from people. Are you watching this? Can you believe this? So we tuned in. Apparently on the left, what you're about to see is considered completely normal, even good. And that should worry you deeply. You don't want to live in Rwanda. But on MSNBC, they're already there. Now, you probably knew about Joy Reid, the race lady, who's been fixated on race hate for years now. But MSNBC has a new host, someone called Tiffany Cross, who hosts a show called The Cross Connection. Here's a selection.
Many of us have seen the dangers when powerful white people decide they want something, they annex it. And they've never had a problem replacing the people who stand in their way.
We see American white people are going crazy. They're resorting to violence.
This is literally what conservative white folks do when they don't get their way. They turn violent.
White people deputizing themselves in some position of authority to have jurisdiction over their life when they need to mind their blanking business.
I don't think it's our responsibility to be tasked with destroying and dismantling the racial oppression that's against us. That's just saying we're more at fault than the white people who constructed this system and the white people who continue to practice institutional racism.
A majority.
Now, look, again, it's not all black women. Obviously, they got, their little allies. It's mostly, gay men and men of, men who are gay adjacent, right? But that's pretty much what you get nonstop from black women on television all day long. It's almost like that's why you're there.
Of white people do not support policies that would unpack and unroll and reform this system of justice. This is what they want. Matt Gaetz is giving the white folks what they want.
White replacement can strangle culture. So yes, we should all be concerned about white replacement. It is, after all, a very threat to our survival here.
It's so funny to watch black women on TV mock white replacement as they try to become the Little Mermaid, as y'all bitches move into Middle Earth, as y'all try to be Targaryens and shit. But no, nobody's replacing anybody, right?
Is there anything worse than white people? They're violent, they're heartless, they're cruel, they're deranged, they're secretive, they're dishonest. In fact, as you just heard Tiffany Cross say, white people are a mortal danger to you and your loved ones. They threaten your life.
That's right. They threaten your life. God damn it. Be afraid. Shout out to white people, y'all.
And I said, well, sit down, nigga.
Are they poisoning the wells? Are they baking bread with the blood of your children? If not, according to Tiffany Cross and MSNBC, they're fully capable of doing those things. They've certainly done worse. This is Hutu Radio. But it's not an independent radio station in an African country. It's part of one of the biggest news organizations in the world, part of the biggest telecommunications company in the United States, Comcast, which owns it. So you have to ask yourself, what does Comcast board think of this? Comcast board is mostly white people who, according to the channel they own, decided they wanted something, then they annexed it. White people who steal because they're white. White people who could, quote, turn to violence where they don't get their way.
Ooh, sounds
White people
spooky.
are going crazy, endangering their communities.
Wait, can I ask the chat? All right, we got 90 people in the chat, right? And so if you just walked in, I got to put you on the spot, especially if you just got here. One, you got to hit the like button. That's mandatory. You're new here, so you got to hit the like button. And then two, let me ask you a question. Has anyone seen these scary white people? Hold on, because Tucker, all right, you're making me afraid, Tucker. Where are these people? I got to find out. Has anyone found these white people? Are they walking around your neighborhoods right now? Has anyone been terrorized by these white people?
So you have to ask yourself, what does Comcast board think of this? Comcast board is mostly white people who, according to the channel they own, decided they wanted something, then they annexed it. White people who steal because they're white. White people who could, quote, turn to violence where they don't get their way. Who steal because they're white. White people who could, they annexed it. White people who steal because they're white.
Hold on, has anyone ever heard of that? White people who steal because they're white? Like, has a white person ever walked into a black-owned business and just was like, this is mine, nigga? Like, like, has that actually happened? I mean, all right, I'll give it like at least 50 years, right? Has that happened in the last 50 years? Like, because then I'm not even saying it happened 50 years ago, right? But, at some point in time, we imagine it did happen, right? But, like, does that happen now? Has anyone been the victim of a white criminal? Has someone stolen from you because they're white? If someone has stolen from you because they're white, put a 1 in the chat, please. Can I get a white 1 in the chat if someone stole from you because they're white? That's a new white crime. Like, there's a list of white crimes, and that's a new one right there, all right? Subjugating black people, that's the one white crime. You know, oppressing women, that's the other one. And then stealing because you're white. Like, whoa. Well, okay. Yeah, we learned shit, don't we? We learned shit.
They annexed it. White people who steal because they're white. White people who could, quote, turn to violence when they don't get their way. White people are going crazy, endangering their communities. So you have to ask yourself, why are they putting this on the air? Why are they allowing this? This is not a policy debate. These are open attacks on people, on Americans, on the basis purely of their race. And that's just a selection. We could go on and on and on. Are they aware that this is happening? Perhaps they're not. We weren't, to be fair. But it is happening day after day after day after day. And at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, if it continues and nobody stops it, do they agree with it?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Did Tucker just say that these black women must be stopped? Did Tucker, you didn't just say that, did you, Tuck? You didn't just say that. Did Tucker just say that these black women must be stopped?
That Terminator is out there. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. And it absolutely will not stop. Ever. Until you are dead.
Okay, Tuck. Oh, okay. All right, I'm with you. Stop the queens. Hey, look, you know me. You know me, right? Stop the queens. We have to stop these bitches at all costs. We have to battle them on all fronts. We got to do a Winston Churchill speech. We will stop these weaves on the beaches. No, I will fight your weave on the beaches. I will fight your weave in the streets. We will fight your weave in the skies. Wakanda will not fall to your weaves ever again. Like, I'm with you, Tuck. Yes, these bitches got to be stopped. Okay.
Maybe they do. And just in case you think that we are taking Tiffany Cross out of context and pulling the worst quotes from a out of context segment to make her seem crazy and racist.
Yes, non sequitur. Yeah, what if Tucker Carlson is from the future and he's trying to stop WeaveNet from becoming active? Tucker Carlson is John Connor. He's trying to stop WeaveNet from becoming self-aware. Tucker Carlson is here to save the world from the Weave takeover in 2039.
Here's more. Here's Tiffany Cross at MSNBC.
Look, a lot of folks in that Capitol insurrection, some of these folks were white women. And I know we're talking a lot about Oath Keepers and Proud Boys, but I do think that some of the white women who have adopted this ideology, is America ready to face the fact that some of those folks look like people they have elevated and put on a pedestal of being untouchable? What do you say about this wing of white women who have been radicalized and are enablers to this very dangerous domestic terrorism movement that we've seen increase quite rapidly?
Shout out to the wing of white women, all right? Shout out to anything that makes the Weave gang a little nervous, anything that makes the Weave gang a little bit more upset, I generally support, enemy of my enemy maybe, but I'm like, shout out to the wing of white women. I bet you they not fat either. I bet you most of them not even fat. Like, I could just imagine the wing of white women. In my mind, I picture like the Nordic volleyball team. Shout out to the wing of white women, all right? Bunch of mythical bitches out here. Mythical bitches from the north come to save us all.
So it's not just whites, it's white women. Their women are bad too. And women, of course, are the key to reproducing the white race, which is clearly a threat, as she says again and again, to you and your family. They're dangerous.
Yeah, Captain Cisco. Yeah, yeah. Listen, the mythical women of the North come to save us all, right? Shout out to Pearlie.
They want to hurt you. Now, don't be fooled by the fact that Tiffany Cross can barely speak a coherent sentence. She was a communications major, apparently, according to the internet. That didn't work. But the gist of it is very, very clear. White women are dangerous because white people are dangerous. They are, by the nature of their DNA, potential domestic terrorists. Now, you can play the game.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Their DNA. They have domestic terrorist DNA. Holy listen, I gotta take notes. Where is my pen? Domestic terrorist DNA. Oh my God, the white man, they are unlocking white powers I had never heard of. The black woman, shout out to black women. They are discovering secret white powers. That's what the divestors are about. Okay. That's what the divestors are after. The divestors figured it out first. They're trying to get that white terrorist DNA. Oh snap! Yeah, yes, yes, yes. The white terrorist DNA. And this is why I didn't make no beef with the divestors. I knew you have to study. You have to study for a while. There's a plan. There's a plan at work. There's something going on here. It's not just a bunch of bitter broads. Like that's the norm. Like there's something underneath the bitterness that you need to understand. And I think we cracked it. They are trying to get that white terrorist DNA. Shout out to all the queens.
A lot of people seem to not understand me.
Science proves that the black woman is God. We're not just saying that.
And the black and Latino woman, they manifested themselves out of dark matter energy. All right.
I believe the black woman is God.
Black woman, God. I don't believe God, no man. I believe God, a black woman.
The black woman is God.
But my number one subject matter is the black woman is God. That's first and foremost.
Black woman is God.
The black woman is still God.
You're God, black woman.
The black woman is God. She is the creator. She is the sustainer. She is the provider. She is the first teacher of the children. She is everything to the black race.
But don't get it wrong. I am still a white man's whore.
Yeah, shout out to that white terrorist DNA hunting girl. I know you listening right now. I know one of y'all white terrorist DNA hunting divestors is listening right now. Shout out to you. Peace to the gang. All right, there's peace to the gang.
Their women are bad too. And women, of course, are the key to reproducing the white race, which is clearly a threat, as she says again and again, to you and your family. They're dangerous. They want to hurt you. Now, don't be fooled by the fact that Tiffany Cross can barely speak a coherent sentence. She was a communications major, apparently, according to the internet. That didn't work. But the gist of it is very...
Oh, stop. Burn. That was news people burn. Oh, stop.
Very clear. White women are dangerous because white people are dangerous. They are, by the nature of their DNA, potential domestic terrorists. That didn't work. But the gist of it, white women are dangerous because white people are dangerous. They are, by the nature of their DNA, potential domestic terrorists. Now you could play the game, well, if any other group were spoken about this way, this would be shut down immediately. And of course, that's completely true. There's no other group in America you could talk about the way that Tiffany Cross and Joy Reid and other anchors in MSNBC talk about white people. But you don't even have to play that game. It doesn't matter what the color is. It's always wrong to reduce people to the color of their skin, to their melanin content, to their DNA. And it's even worse to attack them on the basis of that. And in fact, it's the basis of violence, actual violence. But Tiffany Cross can't be criticized because she's oppressed. That's the key. Watch this.
Whoa. What was that? See, Tuck he be trying to get slick. Tuck think he's slick. Come on, bro. I see what you're doing, right? I see what you're doing. He don't respect her oppression. Tucker doesn't respect her oppression. That's what it is.
But Tiffany Cross can't be criticized because she's oppressed. That's the key. Watch this.
What we didn't see were enough voices willing to point out the deeper, festering rot that's plagued this nation since it was born. People who neither discovered nor built this land have been led to believe that America is theirs and theirs alone. Will this democracy survive? Well, a Yahoo News poll says no. But perhaps when you build a nation on stolen land with stolen labor, it was never going to be a republic we could keep. And so here we are, celebrating the birth of a nation, independence for white men.
Okay, once again, calling out a specific race by name. Now, you have to wonder about the other anchors on MSNBC, some of whom are that race. Do they notice this?
Black women are so schizophrenic, like as a group, right? I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of individuals, but like as a group, this is a schizophrenic posture. And you know what? Perhaps there are elements of this. You don't really see this as much from the men. But, there's something going on perhaps. But with the women, it is definitely more pronounced because, like, you chicks are literally on television. Like, everywhere I look, I see one of y'all. And, like, on the left hand, on the one hand, right, Black women are desperately at war with the white man. They want to disrupt the white man's business. They want to take his money. They want to move into his neighborhoods. They want to take his job, all of that shit. And then they actually, they want to enlist all the Black community with them in their quest, right? But then on the other hand, you got another separate group of Black women who are like, he might be evil and all, but he's still sexy though, right? Like you got that other group of Black women who, like, at the same time, you got the group over here like hating on the white man. You got another group trying to get with him. It's weird. It's like, I don't know if it's like a weird group mating strategy or what. It's like good cop, bad cop or something. But, just weird stuff I notice here.
Do they know what's happening on their channel? Are they okay with this? What do you think happens if we continue to talk this way? You may not watch that channel, but some people do. What does this look like in a year or 5 years or 10 years? What kind of country do you live in? Well, a country at war with itself, race war. This woman, Tiffany Cross, whose clips you've been watching, is so deranged by a racialist worldview that she believes all people of one color are oppressed by all people of another color. And to prove it, she says, even NFL players, some of the richest people in our society, some of the most celebrated, the most famous, the most privileged, even they can't escape the all-pervasive hatred of diabolical whites. Watch this.
Well, I mean, we already know, without even getting to the next part of the clip, we already know, shout out to Colin Kaepernick, like, the NFL is just like a slave camp, right? Like we already learned this about the NFL. He did his old documentary, the NFL's like slavery, yada, yada, yada. And we learned these things already. So I guess Tiffany is like, are you still in his swag? I don't know what's going on there, Tiffany, but all right, let's watch. Let's watch. Shout out to all the slaves in the NFL right now.
I gotta say, Mike, the optics just look bad. To see all these Black men crashing into each other with a bunch of white owners, white coaches, and the complete disregard of Black bodies and Black life. I mean, it just represents a larger issue.
So, I mean, look, the average salary for an NFL player is more than $2 million a year. 60% of NFL players are African Americans. In some positions like cornerback, virtually all the first string players are Black. So, okay, we don't have a problem with that. Most people don't have a problem with that. But if you look at that picture and say, this is white supremacy, what are you really saying? You're saying that anybody involved in the sport who is white defiles the sport because whiteness is itself inherently corrupting. White people are so evil that their mere presence in a sport that is overwhelmingly African American and from which African American individuals are benefiting is enough to destroy the whole operation because there are whites involved. What kind of talk is that? Well, it's genocidal talk, actually.
That is interesting. There are too many white people in the industry that, made all these Black millionaires. It's a white industry that made all these Black millionaires, but there's too many white people in it. Yeah, That's an interesting point. That's one way to go. That's definitely one way to go. Now, I want to switch something up just a little bit here, because before we get to Tucker's guest on this segment, I want to play something else for you from Tucker, because apparently Mrs. Reed, she got a little upset with Tucker the other day. I think she heard this clip before I got a chance to run it. This is my first day back off of punishment. And so, now that YouTube has let me outside to play again, we can catch up on some busy work. But Joy Reid found this Tucker Carlson segment that we're going through right now. And he apparently he made Joy Reid, the quote unquote race lady, he made her a little bit unhappy. And wherever there's an unhappy black woman on television, I'll be there to eat popcorn and take notes.
So, just for the record, I don't spend a lot of time watching Fox News, or the BS Factory, as CNN's Jim Acosta more colorfully dubbed them this weekend. Personally, I prefer my news and information to be grounded in reality, rather than monetizing my amygdala to keep me on edge and buying my pillows in gold. However, according to Media Matters, The Root, Crooks and Liars, and others who watch Fox News so you don't have to, at least 3 times in the last month, well, Tucker Carlson took time off from badgering strangers in parks and bouncy houses to demand that they show him their children's unmasked faces, to refer to moi as the race lady. The race lady. Why would
Yeah, yes, the race lady. Yeah.
call me that? I mean, I used to run track in high school, but I mean, honestly, I'm not that fast. So what else could it be? What else?
Watch The Race Lady on MSNBC. Harvard educated but totally oppressed, and absurdly racist claims, says the race lady from Harvard. Joy Reid, the race lady over at MSNBC. Here's the race lady from MSNBC finally putting her Harvard degree to work. Oh, wait a second, Harvard educated race lady? Now you're really confusing us. Well, Joy Reid, the race lady over on MSNBC, took a quick break from haranguing Whitey yesterday.
Did he say Whitey? Oh, honey, Tuckums. Is this really about me fixating on race, or is it about you fixating on race? I mean, when you recently went off on me for continuing to mask up post-vaccine while jogging in crowded Central Park, you weirdly, as you did in that montage, threw in my attending Harvard. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm sensitive to this stuff, but it felt kind of like a dog whistle. I mean, did you want to go to Harvard? Did they reject you? And you think, oh yeah, they let the race lady in. Blah, affirmative action, blah. Well, listen, let me cheer you up, okay?
I think she is in there because of affirmative action. I don't know. I'm just saying, she might be smart, but she doesn't sound smart. She just sounds angry.
I got into Harvard and, Yale, Vassar, and the University of Denver too, because I had a really high GPA and fantastic SAT scores. And that's how affirmative action works, love. Schools search for smart people from diverse backgrounds so that these schools won't be as dry as all the major sports leagues were.
Catalina Castillo says she's turned on by Tucker. And you know what? You might be onto something. I haven't really thought of that part directly. It's definitely a possibility, right? It's it would fit the type. In Black America, this attitude is kind of a part of the mating ritual. So, you could be onto something. If Tucker suddenly said, if Tucker was like, yo, Joy, what up? When you try to let me hit that, she might be like, yo, why you playing, Tuck? Like, she totally might be trying to let him hit that. You never know.
Before they desegregated. See? And just because, maybe you didn't have great grades and great test scores and needed your girlfriend's daddy to help you get into college.
And yes, Black Uru, I know that pains you. I know this is a bitter moment for you, but we have finally reached the moment in Black America. This is why I was asking a question about, is the civil rights era completely over now? We have finally reached the level of Black men and women trading jokes about going to Harvard, about who did or didn't get into Harvard, right? The Black woman, the Black woman and the white man, right? The Black woman and the white man trading jokes about, I got into Harvard and Vassar. Yeah, that's the Black woman now. That's the Black woman. Yeah, equality. We made it. We made it. We should all be bumping Drake right now. Nigga, we made it. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Nigga, they made it.
We are absolutely winning right now. Absolutely. We have done more than change the conversation. We changed the balance of power in the federal government.
College doesn't mean that you don't have amazing people in your life who love you. I mean, you got all that Swanson money, right? That sticks for everybody. Woo. And, you had fun at Trinity after, you got bought in, right? By the way, what was the Dan White system?
Now, I mean, I got to say, that is yeah, Tucker, you look like a young Republican dick. We knew from then you were going to be a special kind of asshole. Like, I got a big screen, this one right here. That picture is kind of special. Like, bro, like, kill me if that's ever my high school photo. But we knew from then how much of an asshole you were going to be later in life. Like, come on. Nobody who takes pictures like that, there's only two directions for you. You're going to be a very nice guy who never gets heard of ever again, or you got to be an asshole. Yeah, Animal House. Exactly. You got to have a little Animal House in you. Listen, Black Uru, that was probably like 30 years ago, right? 30 years of dick, right? 12 years a slave versus 30 years of dick. All right, that's what we're dealing with in the modern era. He's been like this since forever.
Society. You know what? Moving on. And just because the CIA rejected your application, I mean, look, things turned out fine for you. You had a great career over here at MSNBC. Oh, actually, okay, that didn't work out. Well, look, you were great on CNN, though, until Jon Stewart kind of humiliated you. But it's fine. You're fine. Things are going great.
I remember that episode, actually. I think I was watching that live back in the day, in the way back. But yeah, he kind of called out his you guys with your bow ties, and but it was a good moment. But Jon Stewart's out here riding for the transgenders right now. So, funny how life works out, isn't it? Who's the man now, John? Like seriously, I need you to like fill this out on a form. Can you explain it to me in like a paragraph? Like, who is a man now, John? Like, seriously, because I see what you're doing with your show, and now I'm confused about how confused you are. Like, I mean, it's, you clearly, know what a woman is still, don't you? Don't you?
For you. And back to the whole race thing, just saying, I'm not the one who spools out over my neighborhood changing like I'm some segregationist housewife from the 1950s. That would be you, Tuckums. And I'm not the one spouting a conspiracy theory that white people are going to be replaced by a Democratic Party conspiracy to import non-white people to outnumber them, a theory that was also mouthed by the Charlottesville Tiki Torch Nazis.
Oh yeah, it was just a theory. There aren't an army. There are no armies of illegal immigrants just trailing across the Rio Grande every morning. I don't get up to a new video every other day of illegal immigrants just like damn near single file. It's almost like it's an organized trip. They're not just like doing a mad dash for the finish line or whatever. It's like, one after another, women and children in the front, men in the back. It's actually almost kind of cool to watch. It's like, oh okay, yeah. It's like they're ready to work. I mean, no, but none of that's happening.
That would also be you. And the reason I continue to mask up in crowded places is because I don't know how many people in those crowds that I'm jogging around didn't hear about the court case where your bosses said that your show isn't news. So they listen to you like you are the news. And I don't trust that people.
Wait, I like that picture right there. That picture should be on Tucker's like mixtape. He should drop a mixtape, and that's gonna be on the album cover right there. That picture right there. Fuck these bitches. FWB from Tucker Carlson. No, I'm sorry, FDB. FDB from Tucker Carlson.
You like you are the news. And I don't trust that people who listen to you, Tuckums, are taking precautions against COVID rather than freaking out about a piece of cloth and busting into the Target to cough on all the cereal boxes like they're 17th century colonizers touting measles blankets with them. People like you and your friends and the BS factory are keeping us steeped in COVID sickness and rage and paranoia and the ways in which you...
Hold on. Cool Kamasi in the chat says Tucker Carlson is more real than Snoop. That's a fact. You know, those aren't my words, chat. I am reading a comment from the chat. I haven't made a definitive judgment on that yet. I gotta weigh the odds. But I will say this, right? Tucker Carlson has yet to back down to these to the B-dub, right? Tucker Carlson, he don't take no L's to no black woman, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to put it that way. I know that hurts some of you guys' fifis, but Tucker's like, I don't take no L's to no black woman, bro. That's not how we do this on the Fox network. Not while I'm on. I got 1 hour on this bitch, and for 1 hour, no L's, bro. That's not what we do. That's not what we do on the Tucker Carlson show. I refuse to take an L in front of the black women on my show. That's how he roll. That's how he roll. And look, Joy, she trying to throw an L at him from the next channel. He like on channel 5 and she's on like channel 29 and she trying to throw the L at him from her channel and it's like not reaching. Her arm ain't strong enough. Like the L's keep coming up short. And so he chilling. Snoop on the other hand, he was like, look, my mama told me I gotta be nice to you hoes. Snoop deadass came out the next day after talking all that big shit. It was like, my mama said I gotta be nice to the hoes. and then he been being nice ever since, bro. That's how it is.
Lil Tucker, are making America worse are why I will continue to keep my mask on in a crowd. And we'll have more on your endless COVID hell that the Tuckers of our country, who, by the way, are the absolute worst, are helping to create.
Right. So that was your girl, Joy, right? She was mad at the tuck. She was like, she was feeling some type of way about the tuck. Like that, you know. I don't get why she hating. I mean, I think I do, but I really don't. But I like to see her hating anyway. Anytime Joy Reid is hating on you, you're doing something good, right? That's kind of like one of those general rules of thumb. Like if Joy Reid is hating on you, you're probably doing all right for yourself so far, right? So, you know, positive signs, right? Positive signs. Shout out to my man Tuck. And then he brought out Jason Whitlock for the second half of the act. Like, oh, snap. Okay, yeah, he really about to say something fucked up about the black women. Is that what he about to do? Because that's kind of what his reputation has become. Like, you know how they say about the black conservatives, they only bring you up here to talk shit about your people. Yeah, well, I'm with it. Let's go.
Not all that interested in hearing people talk about race, and I'm definitely not interested in watching that channel. But once you do watch it, you think, how can this be happening and nobody says anything?
Tucker, it's pervasive across corporate media. It's pervasive in the sports world. It's one of the reasons why I left ESPN and Fox Sports, to be quite frank with you, and wanted to do my own independent thing because of the way that we talk about race in the corporate media. Is very unhealthy. It's very toxic. It's intense.
And, you know, shout out to Jason Whitlock, too. I think when that whole Malika Andrews thing was popping off, he dropped some comments about, you know, how black women are placed in, and he was talking about like the entertainment world, ESPN, but how black women are placed in the network, and then they kind of seem to all fill a certain function, the same function all the time.
People have been bought and paid for to undermine this country. Tiffany Cross, Joy Reid, any of the other people doing this type stuff, they know exactly what they're doing. They're doing exactly what they're told to do. They're planting the seeds to make people believe that the American experiment is a failure and the Constitution needs to be rewritten.
That's right.
And they're using race as their disguise. That's the entire agenda here. They're not hiding it. America is a failure in their mind because the outcomes don't meet their demographic criteria or quotas. And so all of this is to bait all of us into a race war and distract us from an attack on America, its Constitution, and primarily it's an attack on God. People get upset that, oh, like Christian nationalism. This country was founded on biblical principles, period, end of story. This is...
Yeah, Jason calling out these godless hoes, godless whores. That you know, and I appreciate you for saying that. I appreciate you for taking it there. And I know, listen, I am not like, you know, of the faith. I don't go to church and I haven't read my Bible in forever. But you know, I like to think there's an order to things, and to that extent, you know, I'm comfortable with the Christian order of things. And these women seem to be at war with the order of things, right? And that's a dangerous notion, right? To give over leadership, and especially it's a problem for black men more acutely in the black world. And we just saw this with like the voting for Vucking thing, and then how Al Sharpton the other day was saying that you are like unsecure in your masculinity if you don't vote for Stacey Abrams. So I'm like, oh, so the path to masculinity is female leadership, huh? That's a pretzel. My brain is still twisting around on trying to figure that out right now. But that's the mind trap that you get put in as a black man in black America. You are being convinced to cede your leadership and your authority to godless whores. That's rough, right?
This is a biblical experiment, the United States of America, and it has been a success. The atheists, the Marxists, the people...
And Black Uru, yes, you have, you know, you hit it right on the head. The same thing I've been calling out for a while as well. They have no intentions to actually like fight the fight. You know, there's always going to be a brave, you know, few here and there that'll be good for something. But like by and large, women are not going to be fighting the fight that they want you to fight on their behalf, right? The war to make black women the ultimate queen of the nation, only black men should really bleed for that shit, right? So we bleed and she gets to be the queen. That's the deal. And I hope you guys, you know, I hope you all bought your pens so you can sign up right now.
Hostile to God want to end this biblical experiment, and they're using race to tear it down. That's the nuclear weapon. Race, 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 race. We haven't treated race right. We got to write a new constitution. This whole thing's been a failure. It's a smokescreen. It's an attack on God. Those of us that are believers, regardless of our surface level differences of skin tone, if you're a believer, you got to wake up and...
Yeah, now there's a second half. We're going to get to that right now. But, you know, this is Jason Whitlock. Again, I appreciate what Christianity and Christian people attempt to do, because that order is a lot more comfortable. It's a lot more preferable to what we have right now, which is essentially disorder for the sake of disorder. There's no order to this disorder. There's only more chaos at the bottom of this chaos well, right? The further down you go, the more chaotic it gets. And it just makes more sense to lean towards the light, right? To lean towards order and you know, the good, as they say, right? That, I mean, what else are you going to do but try to lean towards the good? Everything else is bad by definition. So that's kind of the problem here when you, like I said, you're being asked to cede your leadership and your authority to godless whores. Like nothing good's going to come out of that.
That's the entire agenda here. They're not hiding it. America is a failure in their mind because the outcomes don't meet their demographic criteria or quotas. And so all of this is to bait all of us into a race war and distract us from an attack on America, its Constitution, and primarily it's an attack on God. People get upset that, oh, like Christian nationalism. This country was founded on biblical principles, period, end of story. This is a biblical experiment, the United States of America, and it has been a success. The atheists, The Marxists, the people hostile to God, want to end this biblical experiment, and they're using race to tear it down. That's the nuclear weapon. Race, 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 race. We haven't treated race right. We got to write a new constitution. This whole thing's been a failure. It's a smokescreen. It's an attack on God. Those of us that are believers, regardless of our surface level differences of skin tone, if you're a believer, you got to wake up and look at what they're doing. They're attacking God. You think they're attacking you. They're not. They're attacking God, and they're attacking a country that was founded on biblical principles. Is this country perfect? No way. But it's better than anything else. It's the only biblical experiment that's ever been tried with a nation. The results are better than anybody else has ever gotten. What the steps we've taken in this country to correct our racial problems are steps other countries haven't come close to. This is satanic what they're doing.
You're right. And again, this is why I was asking the question before, like, when is it okay to say, like, the civil rights movement is over? Like, can we ever be done with the civil rights era? I mean, how far away do we have to get from it, like, literally? Is there a number of years that, we can measure out, and then we'll be like, you know what, it's been X amount of time, all right, it's official, we can bury the hatchet? Because it doesn't make sense to me to keep this thing up forever to no real end. I don't see the point of keeping it up forever to no real end. And then not only that, it's not just that we're keeping it up forever, it's to the point where we're keeping it up to an absurdity, right? We're keeping it up. Let me drop this down real quick and let me show you guys something. Let me bring something back for you. We're keeping it up to the point of absurdity. I see you in the back check. Give me one more second. Because this is the world that we have right now today, right? This is, modern racism, right? This is the white man that we're supposed to be afraid of. Like, these are the people who have white terrorist DNA.
We know he's God and he no longer can be here. In honor of his legacy. We're not rioting, God. We're not shaming anybody, God. We're just humbling ourselves before you. Yes, Lord. You brought the thunder and rain today, God. Because Satan takes the L today. Father, in Jesus' name, you get the victory. Father, we ask for forgiveness from our black brothers and sisters for years and years of racism, of systematic racism. We know he's...
Yes, the white man apologizing. All right? Shout out to white apologies, by the way. It's like coffee. You guys here, I'm going to drop this link in the chat, right? I'm going to find, here's the link. I'm going to copy this link real quick. Bam. Copy. And then I'm going to paste it in the chat. And every morning when you guys wake up, black or white, this is a multiracial thing, right? I'm giving this as a gift to the people. Have some white apology with your coffee tomorrow and tell me if it doesn't taste a little bit better.
Just gotta sign it and then grab the paperwork.
I'm gonna meet you up, homie. You kind of talking to somebody else out there. But tell me if this white apology doesn't make your coffee just a little bit, it's going to be a little darker, but a little sweeter at the same time. Oddly enough, it makes your black coffee blacker, but it just tastes so great. So that's the link to the white apology, and just sprinkle a little bit in with your with your coffee tomorrow, and you'll thank me. You'll thank me. I promise you'll thank me. But one second, let me just get to the end of this clip with Jason Whitlock, and then we will get to the panelists, and we will have commentary and the whole nine. So right back at it.
And they've been paid to do it.
I agree with that completely. And I also worry that once you unleash these forces, boy, you can't control them. This could go in very ugly directions, and I think it's reckless, really reckless.
Okay, that's the end of it. But yeah, shout out to these reckless hosts. What's going on? We got Trader MBD, Bernard, Fulmer, thank you for coming in, and Black Uru Speaks. Welcome to the panel, gentlemen. Trey, what's going on? You popped up first. What do you think so far today?
Man, what's going on, man? I tell you, this whole race hustle, man. You know us, man. We like to dig deep, and listen to brothers from past in the history. And if you just look at what, let's just take it back to what's his name, uh, Booker T. Washington, to Manning Johnson, Leonard Patterson, and Thomas Sowell. If you look at, their words from what the 1890s up until today, I'll say this whole race hustle thing, all of it has been a scam. All of it. They called it from the 1890s on that this whole civil rights movement, all of it was just communism. And believe me, man, even like Selma was probably just the same stuff we got going on now, was just more this stoked up, they were just stoking folks up on both sides.
Let me ask you this real quick, Trey. What I've been seeing and what like maybe even bugs me personally, right, is that over the years of watching this whole civil rights thing, like going from like the revolutionaries up until today, basically, it went from black men were fighting for the community, and then we basically started fighting for black women, and then the fight just basically becomes almost entirely about black women, right? And now it's to the point where black men have become homeless in their own home.
Yeah, and it's by design, man, of the black woman and the white liberal to pigeonhole the black man. We've heard bigger names in the black manosphere say it, where black men have pigeonholed themselves into are women. That's the only women. So therefore, to them, the black woman is God. While to those same black women, the white woman is God to them. And black women are allowed to, just from the point of view of the black man, who believes in all that black cult stuff, which I do not. But those black women are allowed to exercise their free agency to do anything they want. Whereas the black man, in order to be a good black man, you must serve the queen and you must serve the community.
Yeah, that's what I say about the whole good black man tax, man. That's the whole ball of fucking wax in itself. But let me moving on real quick. We got another guest, the first timer on the panel. What's going on, Bernard, man? What's good? First time on the show. Glad to have you. What do you think so far about black women in this race war and hatred of the white man that they keep spouting? Oh, hold on. You still muted up, homie. Let me unmute you real quick. All right. Start over. Start over.
I say that's a loaded question. I could go 17 different hours on that one. Let me apologize. I didn't know that I was on. Y'all could hear me talking in the background,
That's
so
cool.
I
It's cool.
apologize about that. Wow. So what's frustrating to me is I stay in a I live in Trump country in Georgia, right? Marjorie's my rep, and I got there in June of 2020, and by October, I was able to secure 20 acres of land from the county auction. Since I've secured that land, the people who were trying
Well,
to help
first
me,
off, homie, first off, my man, congratulations, man. That's a big
thank you,
deal.
sir.
That's, just a good amount.
Thank you,
That's a
sir.
lot of acres, bro.
Salute
Yes,
to the
sir.
white supremacists of color.
Right there out in,
Oh
in
yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene country. You out there in MTG land buying
Oh
acres
yeah.
on acres. Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
congratulations. All right, I didn't
I
want to cut you
appreciate
off.
it.
Sorry.
No, no, no. I appreciate it. But ever since I've gotten that land, the people who have been helping me network to try to get it developed and all that kind of stuff have been nothing but uh white folks. You know what I mean? And they're excited that I own the land and I own it at a major intersection within the county. And whenever I speak to them, the first question they ask me, how's your family? How you doing? We praying for you. What's going on with the land? Right? They want to help me develop that land. So whenever I hear people like Charlemagne, Joy Reid, Tiffany Cross, Tariq Nasheed, although he does make some points that I agree with, what's the other guy named Roland Martin, and all these people talk about white people in a disparaging manner, it's very frustrating because the thing that I figured out in life early and throughout my adult life and during my time in the military is that if you're a good person, you're going to attract good people around you. Black, white, candy stripe, the quote ABL, you're going to attract good people around you. So why are these angry people allowed to be the representatives of our space. It's very frustrating to me.
And and I feel your frustration. This, while we're here today, because I obviously took notice of what was being said as well, and I think you just individually kind of make an interest. Oh damn, Uru dropped off. You make an interesting example just because being in Georgia, that's deep south. You can only get a little bit deeper south than that, right? And
All right.
we're supposed to believe how racist and how bad things are, but what we're told versus what you experience like living in the world, and just for the record, I'm sure that there are racist people out there in the world. If you live long enough, you probably bump into one or two here and there, but the reality of it is that, like you said, sir, when if you're a good person, more than often you will attract good people, and you'll kind of survive like that. And it's sort of like debilitating, I think, to the black audience, to like the black population, to just
Right.
constantly keep throwing out that narrative of everywhere you go they're gonna hate you. It's like, so I'm not supposed to go anywhere.
And also, another thing that I'm glad that a lot of Black Americans are taking up gun ownership and exercising their Second Amendment, but their rationale and their reason for doing it is because white people are killing Black people in the supermarkets, and it's like, no, don't you watch the news on a daily basis? Most of the violent crime happens in neighborhoods where financially disadvantaged Black Americans congregate and live amongst each other, right? You should want to get a gun to protect your family in your community, not against people who do not live, congregate inside your community. It's very frustrating. For the past couple of days, I've been trying not to cuss. I've only said 4 cuss words the past 2 days. So the mere fact that I'm holding that together is amazing. But yeah, it's very, very frustrating.
No,
That's my
salute,
problem.
salute. No, and I
Yeah,
get.
that's
I
my
try not to cuss as much as well too. I break the vow every now and then, but you gotta keep the faith. But I appreciate what you're
oh,
trying to do.
profanity is
And
my second language. So
yeah, I know, man. I know how it is. But so Tice just jumped on the panel. I know you've been waiting
yeah.
for a minute for me to open up this panel, Tice. What's going on with you, bro?
Hey man, happy Friday, brother. What up, Trey?
What up, man? Happy
Salute, brother.
Friday.
Man, bruh, my mom was sick back in July and August, and I had to go up to the D, take care of her, right? And I don't watch MSNBC, so I could not believe the lunacy I was seeing on this here, man. And it just blows me away. By the way, I wanted to talk to you about that debate also too, but let me just say this, specifically referring to Tiffany Cross. It is amazing how many people actually take what she says for heart. Like some of the things, it was some specific points. Oh, like they use all the great buzzwords, radicalized. What's the other one? Systemic oppression, and of course, everything going through history and such. And I'm like, guys, don't you guys get that they're just trying to get you in an emotional tizzy? Oh man, did I hear it, when I was just speaking against this. I'm like, you guys watch this every day. No wonder, you've been just so indoctrinated into believing, oh, they shooting us every day, and what the brother mentioned is exactly right about this whole gun ownership thing. Hey, what's up, Leonard? Long time no see. Yeah, but it was a couple of specific points that I can't quite remember that you were mentioning, but they'll come back to me. You can go ahead and pass it around.
Hey, no doubt, no doubt. We just got Leonard Roy on the phone. On the phone. Sorry, you got Leonard Roy on the panel. What up, man? Haven't met you
What's
before,
happening?
so good to have you. Yeah, what's happening, bro? Let me know what you think so far.
Oh man, that Tiffany Cross, let me see. To keep it respectable, there is none. We used to say, go have a Coke and a smile. You need to go have her a dick and lay down. I mean, do something for yourself. That woman is extra. Really, all those black women on the left, that's for the media. If you look at them, and I can't make this up, if you look at these black women for the left wing, The majority of them are manless, planless, childless, and they are adopting.
Tiffany Cross is adopted?
No, they
No,
are
adopting.
adopting.
Oh. Sounds like that was a hell of a correlation if you tied that.
No, they're adopting. You got the mayor of DC. You know, she put career
Really?
in front of everything, and she adopted.
They probably
Really?
adopting white babies too.
Well, they light skinned it. They did. They light skinned it, babies.
Well, you know, there's
With
this
that
weird
good hair
phenomenon.
though.
Nah, listen, there's that phenomena like with the Supreme Court justice lady and a lot of the black women on the left, even the gay ones, they find them a gay wife or they find them a white man to marry. A
Well,
gay white wife or a
Yeah,
white man.
shout out to Lori Lightfoot.
yeah.
Right.
Uncle Lonnie. Yeah. Now that's the thing that tripped me out with Biden and his picks. Now he had Kamala Harris, first name only, and he had Khadijah. What was her last name?
I
For the
don't even really
Supreme Court,
remember.
Khadijah.
Katanji Brown Jackson. That was it. Yeah,
Ketanji.
Katanji.
I was like, ain't no way in the world he gonna pick another one. And who'd he pick?
I think that he got that mainly because of the AKA support and such.
The mayor of Atlanta. What was her name?
You talking about
Bottoms.
Keisha Lance Bottom.
Keisha Lance Bottom.
Yeah. Big bottom.
KKK.
But if I'm willing to bet if you asked any of them what a woman is, they couldn't answer it though.
Oh, they'll know if you smack them on the ass. But let me run that right quick.
Yeah, yo, isn't
they'll
that
know
for
what a woman
real?
is then.
And you know, it's so funny you joke about that, right? But then it's like on the real, they almost put you in the position of like, I have to go to an extreme to prove a simple point.
Exactly.
Like you gonna make me go there. Like, why you can't just be reasonable? Like I really gotta go there with you. And I resent that because it's like you kind of forcing me to be the bad guy when I shouldn't have to be. I thought we were talking about, like obvious observations, like what's a man and what's a woman here. But now you're gonna try to make me be the bad guy. It's such a crazy trap.
Hey, Hood.
Well, Kamala always know what a woman is when things ain't going her way. It's because I'm a black woman. Well, since when were you black?
I had 2 points to make. I had 2 points I remember now, Leonard. You just triggered. All right, check this out. How the mainstream media isn't speaking on this is Kamala. She's on her third speechwriter right now, and I believe she's had 16 staff defections in less than 2 years, which is unreal. But let me throw this to you guys, including the chat. And Tim Pool put this out there, and I've been thinking of this. I actually thought of it before he did, but I got to give it to him and how he articulated this. Do you think that the Dems are potentially tanking midterms so that in 2024 they can, and they'll try to do whatever they can to obstruct anything that they're able to, but so that in 2024 they can say, well, see, we went to a red House and a red Senate and things still didn't get done. I sincerely think that because some of these positions, if you poll, you shouldn't have voted. Shout out Stacey Abrams.
She
wild for that. John Fetterman, the dude who can barely speak in Pennsylvania. Then now we got Eric Adams, who fired his staff mate, who basically told the truth about him. Are they deliberately failing?
Go somewhere.
Blame? Yeah. So what are y'all thoughts on that? Go ahead.
Well, here's the deal with that, Tice. There is a reset happening, and the MSNBC crew, the Strags or whatever, they're saying, "Oh man, white people are scared because they're coming to replace, them." No, everybody in this country knows who's to blame for, our last election, and that's black women, because they claimed it themselves. They claimed it. They put it on billboards. They make TV commercials about it. And everybody knows that black women need replacing, and they don't know that they're the butt of the joke. The Myra Flores class is coming over here to replace niggas. is what it is. The whole white people thing is just a smoke screen. The elites at the top know that they can only let niggas get away with so much before it starts messing with their money. So now they got to usher in that slow reset. Like, brothers like us, man, we're producers. We make the elites happy. We make the elites money. We ain't going nowhere. But niggas, nah, they got to go.
And see, I made a video in reference to that when I went to a grocery store yesterday. Like last minute, had to get some broccoli. So I rolled on down. I go in the grocery store. You know the carousel where the plastic bags are?
Mm-hmm.
This dude is sitting in there. He got the predator braids and everything. He's sitting down scanning stuff. Young dude, had to be about 22. I'm sitting here like, you do know you at work, right? So it's safe to say I won't go back to that particular grocery store again because customer service is non-existent. I'm sitting here like, okay, once all of the migrants that came in and get on work permits, people like that, they gonna take your job. They gonna take your job. They gonna take your job. And they're gonna be happy to make that doggone minimum wage. And you know what they gonna do, right? They're gonna blame it on white folks.
Bro, listen, you read my mind, and it's something I didn't get a chance to cover because, I was on punishment or whatever, and I couldn't do as much. But, like, that whole thing in in Los Angeles with the city council, was it the Los Angeles City Council, I think? And they got reported, calling the black people monkey and this and that. And, I don't take the racial stuff sensitive like that, but it does represent something. And to be perfectly blunt and honest, it was, mildly offensive. Like, yeah, she said some bad things about black people. Yeah, I get it. I care as much as I'm supposed to, I guess. But ultimately, bro, we set ourselves up for this, and we really can't complain because this fight was probably lost back in the 80s or whatever. It's been too much of the quote rainbow coalition, and now this is what I've been kind of getting on Stacey Abrams for. And I mentioned Eric Adams. He's got this lavish homeless center for male Mexican illegal immigrants that got shipped up there. But the most of the homeless in New York City are black men who can't get nothing. Like you can't even get, you gotta be trans to get into a decent women's shelter as a black man. Like that's the best option you got as a black man is to be trans, and they'll put you in there with the women and you'll probably get a better deal. Like that's really how bad it is. But the Mexicans, they got a shelter with Xboxes and phones and you can video chat your people. Like it's rough. And so we sold ourselves out. Like our leadership, this is why I really don't even like to complain about white supremacy, even if it was sort of a thing. Ultimately, we vote for our people to run our affairs, and our affairs are so poorly managed that you have to blame somebody. And I'm not going to stretch all the way over these black people who've all been working against me to blame some white guy. Like, no, all of you niggas been fucking up. And now you got nobody to be mad at that. Spanish is the language of labor, as we've been learning lately.
There you go. Now, let me ask you all, how do you feel about this? Right? Now, remember when they was talking about the black and brown people? Remember that time in recent history?
The fake black and brown coalition?
Yeah, the black and the brown.
Yeah.
Well, since the brown has now been voting overwhelmingly Republican, now the doggone Latins are racist. Have you seen how CNN been playing them?
I love it, man. My wife is a freaking Dominican supremacist, man. I love every minute of it, man. I love seeing it ooze out of her.
Right. You know, Leonard, they've been radicalized according to
No, now now you know who's next? I'm gonna tell you who's next. The mafia.
Oh no, I was gonna
bring it back.
The mafia. That's who's gonna be next. See,
I want it, man. I'm telling you what, man.
It's gonna be the mafia. The mafia is gonna be the new. See, man, holding the black man down and the whoop. See, it's the mafia. They legitimized they self-made illegal money, and now they got legitimate businesses And because remember them Irish gangs in Chicago, and now you
Yo,
ain't got them no more.
I hear people saying that already. Honestly, I've heard
Oh,
people making
really?
that argument around like the manosphere, not higher up, not like on TV or as well, that kind of level, but it's in the air basically.
Don't
So
forget the
you're not
Kennedys.
too far off, maybe.
Don't forget the
But see,
Kennedys
that's
and
the
the
thing,
bootleggers.
man. Yeah, but here's the thing. It's like as a brother, you got a choice to make. You choose money or you choose daggone this thing called black. When you choose money, man, you over there daggone with the Irish, the Italians, those small hats, and you getting paid, and you just looking down at the peons like, damn, sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, let me hold on. Let me jump in real quick. I got to point something out. And yeah, shout out to Ben H for the Cash App, man. I really appreciate that. And yeah, shout out to everybody in the audience. We got a lot of people in here, so please do me a favor. I'm sorry, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. And the Cash App is scrolling at the bottom, so any donations are greatly appreciated. And once again, thank you to Ben H for smashing that Cash App button.
Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry! You not like Hulk angry! Hulk no like fighting girls.
Hey, can I say something, Hood, real quick? Hood.
We hear you.
Oh, okay. Real quick. Isn't it funny how I actually watched that debate between Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock? And for a dumb country bumpkin CTE having washed up athlete with a bunch of baby mamas and all that stuff, how in the hell did he mop this pastor like he did? I mean, and you don't hear that on MSNBC at all. Now, granted, if the result, and the reason I know he won, because if it was different, they would be showing, how he took Walker down. And it's just amazing how the Democrats, they cannot run on their record. So they're going to go back to Dred Scott decision and all, I literally hear these things. Go ahead, Trey.
It's easy, bro. Like, Herschel Walker is a man, bro. When you just run on a man as a man, which is just principles, just good old-fashioned American values and principles, and you own up to your past. Like, it is what it is. And that's one thing niggas hate. If you run on the nigga card, all of a sudden, oh, yeah, I had a horrible past. But, as long as I'm on the left, it's cool for me, all the shit I did in the past, all these baby mamas. But if you're on the right, oh, no, we got to call out your past, this, that, and the other, and all this other bullshit. But Herschel was a man. All of us men are flawed. I don't want no man freaking, running for office in my seat or where I live at that has no past, that has no life experiences. It is what it is, man. We all do dirt back in the day and we learn from it. And that's why Herschel is so resounding, amongst most Americans, because most American men did dirt, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, well, I tell you, if you all are looking at the news that they're showing, like CNN or whatever, I know they're showing it on CNN because Fox are getting the clips from MSNBC and CNN. Now, the state of Georgia has broken records in voting, right? Now, remember all that voter suppression? How do you have voter suppression in the great state of Georgia, but you got more people voting than ever?
Well,
and they won't let it go. They won't let it go, bro. They keep saying that. They keep the lie going over and over again. And that's the thing, too, with TV. That's their job on TV, is to keep the lie alive, bro.
Because I'm going to tell you, the best security, let me show you the best security system I have where I live, right? Because I saw one black family since I bought this house here. This is my best security system.
Yeah, it definitely keeps them away.
They see that hanging outside my house. Oh, it's somebody white stay there.
Hey, Leonard,
If somebody
you a
white stay there.
fool.
Yo, you know what's
Leonard,
so
I
funny?
love this.
You know what's so funny?
If
I
somebody
be
white stay
riding
there.
through. I be riding through certain neighborhoods or whatever, and like I can tell because like you don't always see the people of the neighborhood as you're riding through. But if you see a lot of American flags, I feel better about that neighborhood for some reason. It's just
Oh
something
yeah.
about seeing a lot of flags going by a certain neighborhood. It's like, all right, less crazy things are likely to happen to me in a place like this. For some reason, I could be wrong, but like that's just my general feeling. You're safer where the flag is flying. Isn't that
Hey,
weird?
Leonard, free zone,
Even more
just
so, even
free
more
zone.
so, the neighborhood's got a neighborhood watch, so you know they tell it. You know they tell it.
Hey, Leonard, were you being facetious or are you dead ass?
I'm dead ass. Hold on. Now let me. Where's this button here? Let me see. Is this the button? Yeah, that's the button, and that says.
Why you hanging that flag? They oppressed you.
Let me
That's
see.
the flag of
There
your
we go.
oppressors.
Yeah. Okay. Now, here we go. Okay. I tell them straight up. First, that's what's sitting in my garage.
That looks like an E350.
Part one. This is the part of my flag that fell.
Oh, Screaming Eagle. Salute, bro.
I'm be remounting that this weekend.
Salute, bro. Even though you're a Screaming Eagle, salute. All American over here. All American over here.
All right, 80 seconds. I feel you.
I know y'all
This
air
is
assault guys.
outside my house.
It'll be okay.
This is outside my house. See? And then if you look through the bushes, if you can see over there, that's my neighbor's house over there. Same. See?
Right.
Because I had this cat from Chicago talking to me. I was like, bro, look, I could put two of the average houses from street to whatchamacallit in my yard and still have yard. That's like some of the. I'm like, come on now, stop playing.
This is what I'm saying. Like this whole thing is you supposed to be afraid of like this white boogeyman everywhere you go. It gotta stop. It gotta stop. For one, it's childish, and then two, it keep you locked in the ghetto. Like there's other places to be. There's better places to be.
Hold on a second, Hood. And this was told to me on the panel. See, you don't know nothing about the hood, even though it's in your name. It ain't called the ghetto. It's called the hood.
Hey, I'll tell you something about those flags, y'all. My neighbor up the street, my man, he 82nd cat too, and he got the 82nd flag, and turned out his wife was Dominican too. And you know, my wife is homegirls with her, and she showed her the Courtney Michelle stab video. Basically, in Dominican, they was both like, yeah, let one of them freaking, you know what's, fuck around and find out. Fuck around and get stabbed themselves. Bro, they with it out here.
Exactly. They be playing. I'm like, shoot.
I got another video I was gonna add to the show, but I kind of fired up the panel, so we're gonna sort of review this together. And some of you guys might have seen this. This video isn't really new. It's been around for a while, I think. But what struck me about the video, which is why I added it to today's sort of presentation, right, is that there's a lot of chicks in this video. There's dudes in here too. There's always a handful of dudes everywhere. Some bitches are acting crazy, but it's a lot of chicks in this video.
What are white people superior at?
All right. First of all, we're not going to go without. Why did they start with Jabba? I mean, I feel like that was an insult to black women. As a fellow member, allegedly of your species, right? We're allegedly a part of the same species. I'm like, why do they put you out to represent? Like, no.
Oh, very simple. Because that's how they see you, and these idiots are too dumb to recognize that.
Yeah,
and
like
it also
that
sets the tone. It also sets the tone for the entire video. It's like, all right, cool. If this really is what I'm leading with, like, all right, you have I could see why you would hate anybody. So even if you ask her a question about hating any other group, she's gonna have some type of crazy answer because don't nobody like you.
Hold
She's
on, hold on, hold
unlikable
on.
people.
Are we saying that if you just walked up to her randomly in the street, you just like bump into her and be, oh my God, you know what? You look like you hate white people. Is that the vibe that you're getting?
I'll tell you the vibe I'm getting. She's the average everyday black American woman. Overweight and undermarried.
There you go.
Overweight and undermarried. Oh God.
There you
Those are
go.
rough stats right there. That's a rough ratio. Overweight and undermarried. That's a hard
That's
ratio.
what they are. That's like I gotta go. I gotta roll out here and pick up my granddaughter from from her high school. The little brother's here is talking about, is mom coming along? I'm like, I don't know if my son-in-law is coming tonight. I don't know when she's gonna be here. She's supposed to be here though to pick one of them up. But yeah, your sister, y'all gonna be here. They all like, she's still trying to get the house together. And she's 101st Airborne too. Put your shoes on. She's the first black American female in the history of the 101st Airborne to get a Purple Heart wounded in action in Iraq.
Oh, salute. Congratulations. Oh, not congratulations, but
my baby.
Yeah, salute, definitely. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, Hood. No, before you play this, you know the diets don't work, right? That's why this woman looks this way.
Diet don't hit the same. Yeah.
Well, I think this
Y'all
was
know what that's from, right?
this was filmed during the Trump era. That's probably what happened, right? It was during the Trump
exactly,
presidency.
brother.
Did she pass the paper bag test? I'm just saying.
Oh no, you got all them wide as all outside wide things, blaming it on doggone the cocoa lockdown. Well, we was on lockdown. I was sitting at home bored, and I wasn't doing nothing but eating. No, you already big. Stop. Don't blame it on the cocoa.
We need her on my Detroit
the
line.
sad part, y'all, is she probably got no less than 10 maggots in her inbox though.
Exactly. Blame it on cocoa. Blame it on Cocoa Puffs, but don't blame it on cocoa. Cocoa ain't got nothing to do with all that real estate.
No, she's sick. She's sick of that. She just so hate that. The diets don't work on us like they do on this.
That's Strag Bigelow right there, man. That's
shut up,
go ahead, hit play, man. Hit play. Get her off the screen. That's terrible.
Yeah, let's move her on before we start losing audience members.
What are white people superior at?
Exactly what white people are superior at.
They're real good at violence.
Violence, genocide. It's like stealing people's lives just because they.
Now, I'm sorry. This shit make us look so weak. Like, what are white people good at? They show whip my ass. That's what I keep hearing.
It makes, go ahead.
Feel like
no, I
white, and you know this is happening, and you say nothing, then you're a killer too.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Insecurity, pretending, fear,
being fearful of nothing,
being ignorant,
blame,
letting their egos control their every move, superior at being dicks.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Oppression, gaslighting,
lack of empathy,
intellectualizing oppression. Did I say oppression?
What exactly are white people superior at?
Taking what's not there, taking shit,
taking our ideas,
copycatting,
gentrification,
appropriating things that do not belong to them,
taking over other.
Yo, the white man just be fucking us up.
Bro, you know what's crazy? If you still shot each image and compare it to their answers, you can see the answer in the person that they're basically what's the word?
It's like a Twitter. It's like a dating profile bio.
Yeah. They're projecting. So it's like whatever phrase that they say. If you look at them, it looks like it applies to them. All the violent folks look violent. Like
yeah, all they describing is niggas, man. Don't make me pull out Negroes in Negro land.
Yeah, hold on a second. Right? You know what's crazy is, I'm being one part joking, but one part serious. What's crazy is each of these people will espouse to have swore that they've read the autobiography of Malcolm X and they know the principles, even though that's a lie and all this, and know this. If Malcolm was listening to this, he's like, what the hell has happened to you weak ass, pussified ass Negroes? Look at you. This woman looks tougher than every one of these dudes that have previously spoken. Am I lying?
Hey, see, and last night, David, man, that was my biggest beef with T.S. Johnson. The way he was talking to freaking whatever Joker face in that soft voice, we got to do what we got to do. I asked BGS's permission. Could we do this? I'm like, nigga, really? Why? You're already in the, you're kowtowing to the woman that controls you and hates you.
I don't like talking bad about Dr. T.S. Johnson because his heart means well. I just charge him as he's an academic, and that's just how those guys are, But I mean, I can see why you'd say that, definitely.
Yeah, you can't be nice out here, man. When you're nice like that, you sound like these dudes up here.
Hold on, let's get back to it real quick.
And I'm looking over here. I'm looking over here. Whoa, boy. You got a Georgia peach right here. Built just like a peach. Got blonde hair. Looking like a wood tip Black and Mild cigar. I'm like, what is she even doing in this neighborhood? What is she even doing over here? Oh, now you got Becky walking her dog with her sunglasses. I'm like, what you doing over here? What, you lost, baby? Are you trying to get found? You
call the police on her. Like me, I'd be calling the police.
Yeah. For real.
Maybe they're thinking of it as repurposing. It's like recycle and repurpose.
As my grandma would say, the white folk, they'll take it if you don't copyright it.
They are very good at destruction of land, destruction of people, destruction of humanness.
Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether you're conservative, like white people are really good at upholding white supremacy.
How about claiming that, they are actually a whole separate race when actually white DNA comes from the Black female?
So what exactly are white people superior?
Honey, lying, stealing, and cheating.
Whoa, she said white DNA comes from the Black female?
Well, hold on, Hood. My bad.
It's God, bro.
For that outburst. My bad for that outburst. It was a brother there. Oh, I take that back. It was a male there who literally had you remember the crystal from the old school chandeliers in his ear, and I'm like, that's supposed to be a man. And if white people are so good at lying, cheating, and stealing and all that stuff, then why do your dumb black ass believe them then? That's just you're just calling yourself stupid. That's the case. Am I lying?
Well, nah. This honestly, you know what the white DNA comes from the Black female really goes back to, right?
Oh, you mean that same white DNA they're trying to mimic so desperately and what have you and all that, to the point of, you know what I'm trying to say. Just go ahead. I won't interrupt.
No, it's the Yakubians, bro. It's goddamn Yakubians pop up just when you think it was safe, you get jumped on by a fucking Yakubian. Like, all right, if the white DNA, if white DNA comes from the Black women, right? How did you let them win? Like, what happened there? Like, you know what? I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. It's going to be too offensive.
Let me put on my Clarence Bigham's hat for a second. Did one of those idiots, I'm sorry, did one of those buffoons, I apologize, one of those buffoons actually say destruction of everything? Have you seen the average Black neighborhood lately?
Right. I'm like listening to old girl. Like, white people are only good for lying, cheating, and stealing. All right, so why y'all making all these videos about Black men cheating?
Seatbelt on.
Yeah, listen. Shout out to the originator. Yeah, she the originator of white jeans.
But if man had to find out that his God was a woman,
I say the Black woman is God, and
Black woman is God.
I say the Black woman is God.
The Black woman is God because, she was the first organism on this planet.
Yeah, shout out to the first organism, man. Shout out to the first organism.
Manipulation, withholding information.
Now check this out. You brother. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
You brothers ever noticed that these Black women, the only thing they hate worse than white women, a Black man or Black men with white women, but they worship Marilyn Monroe and Kim Kardashian and do what they can to look like them too.
Oh yeah.
The white woman is God to the black woman, bro.
I know this. They trying to steal all our good men. He's sleeping with the enemy, but you trying to look like the enemy that black men are sleeping with.
And we still don't want you.
Bro, they do. That's just what they do, man. They do a lot of stuff that don't make sense. For example, they'll say that the white man got everything from the black man, but then they'll say that the white man is superior at, huh? So everything that you blame them for, they got from you, so you blaming you. It gets real goofy real quick, man. It gets real
That's
goofy.
the Yakubian story, bro. I remember because we spent some time going over the whole Yakubian mythology, and it's like that's what you're dealing with right here.
You mean the grafted man, sir?
Yeah, yeah. But the meaning of it all is basically like, so if they came from you, why are they whipping your ass to the point that you're complaining about it all the time? What does that really mean about it? Like the whole story is weird if you even think about it that way. That's something like, bro, you know what? We got to move on from this. We can't keep thinking these thoughts, man. These are bad thoughts to have in your mind.
Yeah, I'm looking at what's going on here as I'm picking up my doggone granddaughter. That is not all swollen out of control. I just seen one walk by that looked like one of the Oompa Loompas from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, you mean the overabundance, at these high schools and elementary schools. All the other kids are normal size. Then you got the little mini queens that are like 300 pounds in 7th grade.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I just seen. That don't make no sense.
You're exceedingly obese, 40% body fat, and you're oppressed. It make sense with a cell phone and a flat screen TV, mind you, also too.
Only in America are the fat people oppressed. From a historical context, you don't get oppression and extra body weight. Like those two things were never hand in hand until today.
How you oppressed, but you ain't missed nan meal?
That's what I'm saying. And
Not only are they not missing meals.
We got
go ahead.
We got.
I'm just gonna welcome the Big Brain Network to the show, man. What's going on, bro? What's up with you?
What's good, guys? What's going on? How we doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, just chilling out, listening to this. This is wild. This is really wild. Like, there's so many ways this is wild. It's stupid. So I worked in mental health for 6 years before I got into the field that I'm in now. And so I was the only black guy there, basically, for a long time. So I was on all the diversity boards. And during like the
can I troll real quick? Can I troll real quick, bro? Man, you ain't black. You don't sound like no black man with that voice.
Oh, bro. I know, but you know what's dope about that though? My credit's good, and I own stuff. Like it works. So I take it.
Yeah, you got the voice of good credit.
I had somebody try to call me out on that on another panel this week, and he was like, "You sound white," and I was like, "You know what's dope? I get to wake up me tomorrow. You still got to wake up your ass." Like is that supposed to be that I mastered English? Like, sorry, bro.
But nah, you were saying something. You were on the diversity boards at work.
Yeah. So they brought me in, and it's like this meeting with like all the higher ups in the company that I was with. And this was after I gotten like 2 CFOs fired for like mismanaging money. I'm really good at catching people stealing money, so that was my job there. And they bring me in, and they're like, "When you walk into a room full of white people, do you feel intimidated?" I was like, "No." I don't understand that question. I was like, I assume that everybody's at minimum at my level, or I'm better than you. And like, if I'm not better than you, then I'm going to work until I am. So yeah. I don't look at my skin and go, "Oh, I'm part of this group." I'm like, I will work my way up to the level of competence in this room, towards the top of it, regardless. So I'm like I was never raised to look at my skin and go, "Oh, well, we's look like this, so we's got to act this way because we get told that." I was like, ain't nobody telling me what the fuck to do. I'm sorry, my bad. I've been trying not to cuss, so I'm punished.
That's cool. Appreciate that. Keep going.
But I'm not letting nobody tell me what to do. Like that's such a stance of weakness that it's it's incomprehensible to me that we are at this level where we have the internet. You can go get on panels and hear some opinions that you might not necessarily agree with, but you might be able to learn from. You have access to all the knowledge, and people are still going, oh, well, it's because of this color that was ascribed to us. Because black people don't exist outside of America. There's only like 3 places where there's black or white people.
It's true.
How long are we supposed to be allowed the weakness of excuses, though? Because in my mind, it makes us weaker.
Until America falls.
That's it, right? Good. Take it over, patriarchy.
I'm literally going out of the country like a week and a half from now. And this is my opinion on black people in America. And I know this is probably going to get stolen, Black people, and the thing is, and I say we because I was in this category.
Hold on. You only saying that because we black, right?
Yeah, because
so we were kings, patriarchy.
The only thing, you get a good, you get a good understanding of how to be a coon, when you leave America. And I'm not talking about going to a resort. Black people, to me, in America, are the Brian Scalabrine of the diaspora. Ooh. Yes, you got a ring. Yes, you are a champion. You got a ring. But you rode the bench of a championship team and got put in at garbage time. And yeah, you got a ring. Right. If that team falls, if the Celtics start auctioning off pieces, you're going to get a real good understanding of what your talent really is.
Hold on. You're saying we're like America's America's bench. We're like the bench warmers. And mind you, as the shitty bench warmers you just described us, we are being replaced by cheaper talent.
But see, that's the thing. That cheaper talent, that only that only applies if you do not embrace white supremacy. If you embrace the full Anthony Johnson, William Ellison, Antoine Duplessis spirit, none of that matters.
That's funny. Hey, shout out to you, Patriarchy. I've been listening to some of your videos, man. Shout out to you, especially with that Dennis Sperlin and how how you handled that. So salute to you. I want to build off of this. I find it.
Yeah, I covered that on my channel too. That was a funny thing.
That's what I watched it on.
What do you flame the lawyer?
We'll talk about that in
a second. Yeah, he cooked the lawyer, bro.
You gotta make it's worthy.
They had to get him out of there, man.
It's worthy of watching in its entirety because Dennis is the only person that knows about the transatlantic slave or what have you. And, all black people were slaves. You would have loved this even more, Trey. But when I was in Ghana, I was in a village 2 hours away from the airport. So I wasn't at a resort or anything like that. And one of the things I noticed when I went to a school, it was maybe, we'll say the kids were 10 years old. And literally village where they're walking to school and such. They could do long form algebra, long form division with ease, did some basic algebra. And I'm thinking to myself, here are these kids with intermittent power because there was a lot of, power outages and such, intermittent power and such. And back in the States, we got third graders that can't even read at a goddamn third grade level. And so it feeds into this point of, you're the Brian Scalabrine. I won't even say PJ Brown on that damn Celtics. It's like you're taking credit, or it's always we was the slaves. You weren't slaves, sir. Your mother and father weren't slaves. Your great grandparents weren't slaves. Shut up with that BS. You're just a lazy SOB, and people don't want to face it. And it shows in their appearance.
That's another thing too. And again, it makes us weak. The racism argument in general, it just makes us weak as a group. And then also holding on to the loss of, we didn't even take that L. None of us had to take the L of slavery directly. We are generations on top of generations removed from it, and we still want to hold on to this biggest L. It's okay. We can put the L down now. That is no longer our L.
Man. Take the dub.
We can keep it going.
Let me add one more to
Take the dub, man. Hold on real quick. Take the dub. That's why when I go over to them niggas, I tell them this, man, I guarantee you my peoples own some of y'all niggas. And if I had the chance today, I'd own y'all niggas today.
I love
we love that over here. This is what we joke about. The Anthony Johnson period piece live action drama. We need that. The black slave owner plantation drama set in 1764.
I love when you pull up
I got a question for the panel.
Oh, hold on. Before you
How
ask the
many of you
question,
guys? How many of you guys care what poor people think or say?
It depends on if they're saying something. Well, Jesus was poor, but it depends on if they're saying. I look at things as valuable and invaluable. If a poor person tells me not to be like them, right? Then of course I'm going to listen to that, right?
Okay, I'll rock with that.
Yeah, but it just
I
depends on
think
what they say.
I think
Well,
you kind of you separated the argument from like the macro to the individual, and
My
so
bad. Sorry
I
about
can
that.
agree with you on that level. Like, I wouldn't insult someone I'm directly speaking to, perhaps, but generally speaking, like, I look at it this way: I don't really want to like pattern after the losers. If anything, the people who have
Facts.
lost out in life, as much as they may be like, a point of charity or whatever, you might want to help somebody out. Generally speaking, be careful of taking the lessers of loserdom. Like winnerdom, the winners are the people you should take your lessons from.
can I say this on that point? Did
Yeah,
you
jump in
cover?
there,
Did you
Tice.
cover? Yeah, did you covered that left versus right debate, right? I think you
Yeah,
did, right?
yeah.
Okay, so what intrigued me most about that was you had two lawyers on the left, and both of them were trumpeting the same Tulsa, Greenwood, this or whatever. And I'm in my head like, it's amazing how these supposedly formally educated people constantly mention Tulsa, but don't realize about the resiliency of those people of Tulsa who rebuilt Greenwood within 2 years, and it had more businesses. But that doesn't fit their narrative. They don't talk about that. Trey and I have talked about this millions of times before, but it's like, yet they're gonna, you're gonna always have these points. Tulsa, civil rights,
They do what they're told.
Hold on, but the thing, let's talk about Tulsa, bro. Like, did they tell you the real story of Tulsa, or did they bring the cap? Because
Well, I think that's kind of the thing. We know more of the real story, but
Tulsa is you tried it. And the thing is, you saw what would have happened 2 years ago if you didn't have white people and the police on your side. If Antifa
hold on. Are you saying Tulsa was a fuck around and find out episode 1?
Oh yeah. No, you tried it.
Okay.
You tried it. You
Fair
went
enough.
to the prison. You went to look at the first shootout outside of the jail. They killed more white people. I think it was like 8 white people from what I remember, but it was more white people that were shot and killed in the initial conflict than it was vice versa. You tried. I mean, the same thing. And what's funny is you talking that Tulsa stuff, but you ain't saying nothing about South Central Los Angeles, and that's happening today.
Right.
Because you only
Getting ran up out of there.
You only try this stuff. This is why some people will always be on the bottom. Where was Lil Durk at in Tulsa? Where was all these tough guys at back then? Now you want to be tough because white people don't want to fight no more. They want to make their money and they want to have their families. They don't want to fight anymore, right? And then with the cancel culture, that's not what they want. But why is it now all of a sudden you got stuff on your chest that you want to talk? Where was this tough guy stuff out in 1960? I mean, where was it at then? It's only right now that you got the shade room on your side, and the police is actually on their side. You can't convince me that the police and the FBI and social media is not on BLM side, because they are.
Look, patriarchy. January 6th versus Antifa Summer of Love. That killed it right there. Of course they're on their side.
Hey, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like feminism. Back when everything was tougher and you had to eat what you killed and you had to slay the giant and kill the lion and all that stuff. There was no talk of feminism and all that stuff. But now that we have air-conditioned buildings where you can work on the 27th floor and all this other stuff, now all of a sudden women need rights and they need to be equal and all this stuff. Same stuff.
But see, what they don't talk about is when blacks, prior to the 1960, when blacks were hardcore Republicans, and you had people like Paul Robeson that ended up getting called out as being a communist, and Eartha Kitt and the rest, they got kicked out the United States because they wasn't down with the Democrat program. But they don't talk about that.
Right.
I think we need to
now,
kick some people out
let let me lay an idea out to you guys because this sort of just popped in my head just now. So I want to test the waters with it while it's still new. The fact that we are so like obsessed with race and not race, but like all of the losses that we allegedly took, because like patriarchy, this is why I didn't want to fight you on anything you just said, because you know the real story of Tulsa, Oklahoma, in my opinion, it's much more of a battle than some kind of race. Like we got genocided in a little town. Oh no, we fought. We had a fight. Like men fight. So the fact that we only focus on we somehow took an L and we only focus on the L's that we somehow took. Now that I think about it, it kind of is one of those further cycle. It's one more, feather in the cap of like feather in the cap. No, it's death by 1,000 cuts, right? It's one more cut of tearing down masculinity because instead of focusing on the victories and the successes of Black America, which would almost by default put the men of the time in the spotlight, you only focus on the losing.
Like the Tuskegee Airmen, right? Like that's a story to rally behind. There's a lot of other. The Black people back then are not the Black people of today. It's funny. They would be more racist than even white people. And if you had a grandfather or somebody that's like over that, you know what I'm talking about, right? Because those people went through
old people are funny, bro.
just to become a part of America. You're trying not to become a part of America. Like you separate yourself from America. These people literally imagine fighting and protesting to go to war to die. Like that, those people are not here. Like that culture is gone. It's gone. And just like every ghetto, right, is underneath every ghetto is a nice neighborhood that the generation before lived in. And that's just what it is. That's just the truth.
I think I just think you indirectly laid out how this so-called fight has been bred out the modern Negro.
It may be true. I never looked at it like that. You may be right about that.
Hold on, lay it out for us, Tice. Lay it out.
No, I mean he laid it out. Sorry, I'm just taking care of some things. He just basically let out. Think about this. I think I mentioned yesterday on Bernard Riley's show how I've seen white women that were in my boxing class beat the shit out of Black women when it come time in public or whatever. In other words, all of this, it's almost like, how do I best say this? If they didn't have social media,
it would be a wrap.
Right on their side.
The shade room and the FBI is all they got.
I love it. But no, and when you said about the lack of resiliency that brothers have, I mean, come on, man. Look at this. Look at this pathetic video. I don't know if we stopped you from playing it with the things that white people are good at. And they were talking about oppression, taking things. It was kind of similar to that dude you had a debate with, patriarchy, who looked like he called him Mickey Free or something like that. And this dude was like, You went to this good school, but you talk about us so mean. And I'm in my head like, there's a dude coming online talking this shit. This is unreal.
Because I got it out the mud. And even when I was in that school, I got it, and I don't have respect for people who don't. And another reason why, and it's a great school, but those people at the top are making excuses that affect people in inner cities, and the excuses that you make for Black people in inner cities, it causes death. In fact, to me, they're even worse than the people in the streets, because the people in the streets can only have so much power, but it's you people who live in the suburbs who've never lived in an inner city before trying to tell me some systematic a diagram of why things are the way that they are, and you've never lived in them. And that's a problem. And that guy, he's changed some of his opinions afterwards. But dude, at this point, like I said, man, at this point, it really, I don't know. I hope things will change.
Well, hold on a second. This is for everybody. You got to look at it like this. And Leonard, I'm sure you got something to this. Would you want to go to the trenches with these SJWs? I fucking certainly wouldn't.
No, ain't gonna be me. See, these doggone people, they talk all kinds of wildness about the doggone military, but they don't know you know, you get all that free good weapons training and all that good stuff. At the same time. But you know, they called me Uncle Ruckus going to fight the white man war. You did?
And
I was like, okay, I'll be that. But y'all still on the south side of Chicago trying to figure out what y'all gonna do next, hoping that your kid make it walking home from school.
Running around talking about you tough when you can't even hit your target. You hold a gun sideways and you miss everywhere you shoot.
You talking about that rap who was shooting,
all they
right?
got to do, you can't swim. This is how I really knew some people really ain't about that action. Some races are about white people as a race are about that action. You will never see black people reach a certain financial level in this country, which is like over the top, and then sign up to go to war. White people do that because they are about that action. When I think of even John McCain's dad was a multimillionaire. This dude went to war, got his arms broke. He was about that action, right? And
there was a football player just a few years ago. I'm sorry to cut you off. Tillman, yes, there you go.
About that action. Like they want it. Some of these people, they want to, like what you seeing right now. It was like when I lived in DC versus growing up in Kansas City, right? And I noticed that the most pro-black people live in areas with the weakest white people, right? So like when I lived in DC, there wasn't a white person over 6 foot that I ever saw, right? Whereas in Missouri, they're the tallest group, right? It's a difference. And so, like I said, you only try this stuff like this guy right here who's interviewing people. Like, dude, you think this is the person who's coming for you? This little redneck,
right?
Like, bro, you would not do that in Boyle Heights in East LA, in Kansas City, Kansas, where the Hispanics live. In the white guy you really need to be worried about, it ain't the white guy, this redneck guy. It's the white kid that's probably in his early 20s that goes to the gym and who doesn't say a word to you. He's not going to talk to you.
Yeah, well, they go for the easy.
Hold on. I want to, because now that we're talking about, you know, the bearers of white terrorist DNA and all that, right? We got to get to the clip now because we've been talking about the white man for a minute, and it's only right to have a moment to let the white man speak for himself, right?
We didn't all agree. You all agreed. Nobody asked the whites how they felt. Nobody cares what the whites have to say.
What if I want to bring you back to the hood? I've been around the hood before. Okay. Didn't much like it. I was passing through. I made a wrong turn coming down here and went through Memphis, Africa.
Would you ever go to Africa?
For what?
To see all the great blacks. If it was up to you.
All right, that pause right there, it touched my soul. He just totally wanted to ignore the question like it never happened. He was like, "Oh, the great, huh?"
that would be my.
And then it's like, why aren't you talking about systematic oppression for these people who have to live in these houses and things like that, right? Like this guy, I hate to say this. I don't know. Well, now I don't know where he's at, so I'm not even going to speak. But like this is systematic stuff right here. Like you look at you think that the bad school system, the bad infrastructure only affects you. Look at where this guy's living. And this is my problem with Republicans. This is my problem with Trump and Republicans. Why you want to talk about black unemployment? Oh, I got black unemployment. I'm going to give money to HBCUs. This is your voter base. Why are you not taking care of your voter base? But yet you want to take care of the guy with the microphone.
And that's my thing, patriarchy too. When the whole when Trump came out with the platinum plan, like people were shocked because I was like, what the fuck is wrong with Trump? I'm like, man, don't give them niggas shit. They don't deserve nothing. They ain't working for it. Don't give no fucking handouts.
And
because all they're gonna do is they ain't gonna do shit with it.
Yeah, they did, and they did. That's what I'm saying. It's the pandering to me, because the fact that this guy, this is what I'm saying. This is when I look at this picture, I see Trump. I'm like, he's got a Trump shirt on. Why? This is my issue with Republicans. You're always trying to kiss these other people's ass. Why don't you why don't you have some loyalty?
Well, you know, the thing too, I don't, maybe not him, but that's what people used to say about the Democrats. They used to be like the heart of working class America, and like you sold them out, obviously. So it's to a point where nobody gives a shit about like working class America anymore.
This is true.
And see, that's where the MAGA movement, the whole lion face thing is. They have to take over the Republican Party and just straight up just take that shit by force. Because right now the Democrats are controlled by the freaking commies and the freaking ABC community.
Yo, it's so funny. It's so funny. Who would have ever thought that the Nazis would come back gay? Like, if you were storming the beach in Normandy, you would have never in a million years imagined that these fuckers would come back gay, and they would probably be. They're winning. They came back gay and they're winning. Like, how did this happen? But okay, that's too deep. That's too deep. We're gonna go on. We're gonna continue.
For what? To see all the great blacks. If it was up to you, would you want all black people gone?
I wouldn't want to be around them.
What if I want to bring you back to the hood?
I've been around the hood before.
Okay.
Didn't much like it. I was passing through. I made a wrong turn coming down here and went through Memphis, Africa.
Would you ever go to Africa?
For what?
Be honest. Why not? No. Why not? Is it too... No. Would you let Cardi B sit in your face? Be honest. No, be honest. Why not? No. Why not? Is it too big?
Now, guys, I'm not racist.
Shout out to the 80s rock star hair. You heard him. He's not racist, but shout out to the 80s rock star hair.
Why is
Would
it?
you let Cardi B
Why-
sit in your face? Be honest. No, be honest. Why not? No. Why not? Is it too big?
Now, guys, I'm not racist, but I like keeping my genetics pure. No,
it's
sounds like you're working a sheet.
No, it's
I just like
Yeah.
keeping it pure.
Yeah.
What if it's Zendaya? You know who that is from Euphoria?
Ooh, that'd be a hard one, man. She is pretty beautiful, but no.
How you doing?
We don't allow anybody to record in the store.
Wait, do you want to hold it for us then and be the camera guy?
No, we don't allow.
Oh, I thought you was jealous because he was doing it. Can we just finish this up really quick? It's only going to take 3 more hours.
Like I said, I'm not racist, but my dad, when my mom and dad divorced, he got with a woman, and usually mixed children don't come out right, or the mothers have to do C-sections.
Yeah.
Because the kid's too big, and there's more than just that.
I don't know.
You're giving birth to giant babies. You're gonna rip the white wombs apart.
Fucking Nephilim giants.
Yes, bro.
This is people. Negroes don't realize how they think with these dumbass, goofy, funny ass wannabe attempts at viral skits is, moving the needle. They don't realize how weak this makes them look. I had no problems with absolutely none of his answers. And if you switch the roles, niggas be like, yeah, that's right, black power, yup, the beautiful black woman. He want to preserve the genes.
To be fair to this guy, I don't know anything about the black guy, and I didn't get the vibe that he's doing this skit like maliciously. I don't think he's doing it maliciously. I think it's just funny on its own merit.
No, he went to a place that he said was a quote unquote most racist, quote unquote, right? He's using the racist word. Then he's wearing a Trump shirt to try to signify, all people are, if you vote for Trump, this is racist. This is what people want to see. Like he's reaching here, man. And the thing is, it's a funny thing is when Nick Fuentes went on No Jumper yesterday, everything he's saying, it's funny because they told Nick Fuentes said, to interracial mixing is like having sex with a dog, and they're like, that was what got him canceled. But when I hear this guy, there's no difference between him and Tariq Nasheed. There's no difference. They both want to keep their kind pure. And don't even get started on how much black people hate mixed people. Like, don't even there was like Pusha T beat Drake just for making fun of 4 songs about how he was mixed. So it's like, don't get it started with that. Like, literally, you don't have the right to be offended at this.
I think they hate mixed. I think many of us hate mixed people if they're not mixed themselves. If they're not mixed themselves. When it comes to black women. Right. No,
I mean,
if they benefited from it, they will be loving it,
But these women.
Shout out to G Dizzle and Team Light Skin. Y'all be popping up here in the chat. I see you.
Yeah, but they want them mixed kids with that good hair. Them pretty grandbabies with that good hair.
And like I said, black women in particular are schizophrenic about this because on the one hand you hate the white man, but on the other hand you secretly want to blow him, and so it creates this weird dichotomy where it's like you love him and you hate him. It really
You know,
is that you love him and
Let
you
a,
hate him.
let one of their celebrity idol or one of their entertainment, icons or whatever, female obviously, be with a white guy. Oh, she's exercising her choice or what have you.
And that same woman will complain about white privilege and the white man run everything and white people need to chill. That same woman will congratulate her black best friend getting a white husband. And it's like, it's just bizarre. Like, it's one of those things where, I know it means something, but I don't know exactly what it means.
Man, let me keep it a buck here. And I'm sorry, chat, but brace your ears. Here's the thing, and I'll flip it. If this white guy looking like he's straight out of Twisted Sister gets with a white woman, it looks like she's straight out of freaking Deliverance. They gonna have some pretty jacked up kids. They need some to get
some
rid of
gene
whatever
rejuvenation.
Yeah,
They need some fresh new jungle genes.
Yes. So here's the flip side of that. When you got these black ass motherfuckers marrying, getting with these black ass women, and they look like they first cousins, non-removed, they all just keep getting uglier and uglier and uglier and uglier. I'm sorry, but there's some ugly
truth to that.
Yeah,
I think there's truth in that.
There's some
hold on.
ugly. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you probably do hit like a genetic sort of I don't know if you call it a bottleneck or something like that, where too many ugly people in an enclosed environment have bred together, where it's the chances of producing a beautiful baby now are just dropping significantly because everyone here has been ugly for 100 years, and so it's impossible to make good looking people anymore.
I see Blexit down there, why are black men taught that we shouldn't preserve our genetics? Because it makes ugly babies. I'm just saying, man.
Ugly and stupid. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like with my son's mom, right? Now, when she had the child after we got divorced, the only thing I was wondering is, did you look at Steve and think maybe I'll have a daughter if I let him get me pregnant?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
That's all. Because it's like,
wanted to make a Beyonce.
I mean, she looked like a silverback gorilla. Now, if you see this woman with her kids, you'll be bugging out. Because she got... This is what her kids look like now. All right. Got one kid that look like Mariah Carey. That's the youngest one. The oldest one looks like Lionel Richie. Okay, that's my son. The middle one, that girl looked like Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
Yo, and it's I got no problem. My daughter is dark as me. When she got with a redheaded, you know what I'm saying, white boy, I was like, man, that's a pretty grandkids. I was racist. I was like, man, my grandson handsome as can be. He can be up here in 20 years, up here, you know what I'm saying, cracking on niggas like patriarchy and shit.
Well, let me get to the end of the clip. Hold on.
Mixed children don't come out right, or the mothers have C-sections because the kid's too big. And there's more than just that.
I don't know. In a way, I kind of feel like that in a way too.
Yeah.
All my friends are white, and I've always, all right, well, if I grew up like that, keep it like it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? By me having that mindset in a way, is it wrong for me to try to hook up and have a kid with a white girl? What if it's like, all right, let's start a good strand of blacks? Because I'm a patriot.
I don't think it should happen. If it does, I mean, heck, you can't do anything about it.
Do you?
There it is. And are you still there, David? Yo, y'all there? I think we might have lost David. But
one second. I was just gonna say, I'll take it back. I think you guys probably are right. He was on the hunt for racist and couldn't find any good racist, and so it just looks like a funny skit now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was definitely reaching. Yeah.
But that's the thing, man. I've seen like, I know white boys or whatever, from the trailer park I grew up with, and they went and got with, Latin women or black chicks, and they got them pretty grandbabies now. And I know they parents was racist as hell. And all you see now is them posting pictures with Grandpa Billy Bob and his cute little mixed grandbaby. Ooh, I love my grandbaby to death. Ooh, look at me and my little grandbaby. That's all they be posting. Man, once you get them little cute little grandkids, it goes out the window. But I'm sorry, but black folks, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. With daggone black people from the hood, when they get them ugly grandbabies, they do not hesitate to call it out.
Yeah,
yo, tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying.
I went to my. It was a 30-year Delta Company First Engineers reunion. For the combat engineers, went there, and the guy that was stationed with me way back when. Because it was only 3 black guys there. So he's talking to me because, when it comes to infantry and black folks, it's like, that shit is.
Salute, bro. I was a fister in 82nd, man. H-.
Okay, so it ain't a whole lot of us around. So we sitting there chopping it up, and he is like, man, it's something I had to get used to. And I'm like, what? Well, my daughter came home with a black guy. I was like, okay. And at first I was just like, I said, I can understand that. I get it. That's your baby girl, deflowering your princess. Yeah, then they had a baby. Boy, but I tell you, you can't separate me from that little boy. I come home, and as soon as he run up, Papa, that boy, I just melt inside. And it made me look at myself. It made me reevaluate my thoughts. Because I never was a racist person, but when she came in with that boy, I was like, Lydia Potter, well, boy, I don't mean to be. I said, I know what you're saying, young man. Yeah.
Well, goddamn.
I felt some kind of way. But now, I was like, yeah, I get it. It happens like that. And see, he felt comfortable enough to talk to me about that. Because it's like, well, he ain't going to bite my head off. Maybe I'll get an honest opinion. I'm like, you going to get an honest opinion. You say some fucked up shit, you're going to get called on it. That's how I roll. But, and that's the thing. Because it's like when I left, I'm going to Germany, right? Now, my mother was already dead. My brother-in-law, his mother, just out the blue. Don't you be coming back here with no foreign women.
Oh my God.
Where that come from?
It's the women, bro.
I'm
women.
in the army, and my dumb ass, I ain't thinking army, Europe, women. I ain't thinking that. I'm thinking army, combat engineer, blow up shit. That's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Most people in the force that I hear whose parents say that, what do they come home with?
Thank
you. Let me tell you about Germany, man. I went to Germany in 2003. And my dad, he was there in 68 and 70. My dad told me straight up, hey, if you run into any, light-skinned, half German, half American chicks about 5 years older than you, go the other way.
It might just be your sister.
Yeah. Man, let me ask you guys, a question real quick. Let me sort of reset it a little bit. It occurs to me, so like that conversation that you were just talking about, right? It occurs to me that another byproduct of all this obsession, this like false obsession about race and everything, it doesn't allow us to be honest with each other anymore. And this is what like people used to appreciate about, like we sometimes joke about like TV back in the day, like Archie Bunker, as much as we joke about him being a racist of his time and all of that shit, that was honest. That was like how people kind of sort of actually felt. And it was Hollywood, it was TV or whatever, but there was more truth in that than today's like bullshit TV show. Everybody's gay and happy and racially dubious.
But that ties right back into the tone police and such, It's not how, it's not what you say, it's how you say it,
Yeah, it's stuff they couldn't have on TV today. Remember that? I don't know how old y'all are on here. I know I'm old. Now, they had this 70s sitcom called Soap.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah, I remember.
You couldn't have that on doggone,
I remember.
You look at the first episode. Boy, can you come back and sing us a tune? Talking to Benson. I'm like,
Oh shit.
they're
That's why
talking,
Benson is a joke. Okay.
That's
but
why.
that's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Benson
Yeah,
was
that's
a
why you get that
spinoff
now. Yeah.
off of Soap.
But
See?
it's just like it's a weird time that we live in now because we live in a time now where transgender is taken more seriously than transracial.
Let me
You
ask
can
you.
you can change
We live
genders
in what
all
we
day,
live in
but
exactly.
Free zone.
as soon as you say I want to be a white guy, there's a whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute, hold on a second. But you could be a black woman though.
Hold a
I've been
second, Free
calling
zone.
that out for a minute, guys. One second. I've been calling that out for a minute. Listen, the black woman's biggest fear is for a black man to have just a taste of white power. They want to deny the black man white power at every turn. Because it's like, and it goes back. I'm actually, you know what? Let me pull up this quote. I'm actually gonna pull something up. You know, historical proof, right? Facts, data, and statistics. My best friends. A quote from Sojourner Truth herself. I feel that I have the right to have just as much as a man. There is a great stir about colored men getting their rights, but not a word about the colored women. And if colored men get their rights and colored women not theirs, the colored man will be masters over the woman, and it will be just as bad as it was before, as in slavery. Like they don't want you to be equal with the white man. She wants to be equal with the white man, though. That's
Right.
the ultimate sin. On her quest to be equal with the white man, she will kick your ass off the mountain.
Exactly. And then another thing that gets me is with these movies, right? Why they always put the ugliest black women that they could find as the lead character?
Because that's how they want you to see them as such, and it's it's basically. I
Oh
mean,
no, ain't no Cesar. That Leslie Jones, that's ugly motherfucker.
right. You
Well,
killing me.
no, it's
No, it's
not
part of
just
the problem.
that.
Let me add this real quick to what he just
Take it,
said,
take it.
though, to what the equality thing, and shout out to patriarchy. Equality is for people who are losers and who know that they can't beat you fair and square. Okay, those are the people who talk about equality and such. And it's funny how when you see them on their Twitter and other social media microphones, it's either going to be equality, oppression. I forget one of their other trigger words, misogyny. I'm forgetting one of these. There's one more I forget.
All the isms and stuff, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. They always love to use this, and really all they're doing is just telling on their damn selves, that ignore all those boss bitch posts. I'm really a weak motherfucker, and dare I say, I think people have come to realize whoever made that point about that, I think it was Trey that had said about it's about to be over for them or whatever. They realizing, okay, we've let y'all have a little bit too much rope or whatever. You saved the election, you saved the country. Oh, well, 2 years later now, now you got even Joy Behar on The View mad because I can't believe that Americans are more concerned about the inflation and the economy than abortion.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a minute. And they're all nodding their heads like a bunch of damn clapping seals. And I'm like, people actually listen to this shit and influenced by it? It's unreal.
They do.
I'm gonna beat you up for a second, Leonard. You shaking the house up.
I
got some up in the refrigerator.
But and to the point of what was being said earlier in the video, I believe who was it? Jason Whitlock said, black women are they're trying to start a race war, and they're using when it's all said and done and it has to start, black men are going to be the ones that are supposed to fight the war. They hype it up, the black men start the war. And so what I've been telling black men is let black go. Let it go. You a man. At the end of the day, you are a man. Let black go. It's not going to help you. It's not going to get you further. You're putting on excessive, unnecessary weight that you don't need to carry. Be a man. Be an American man. Let the whole cult thinking of black go, because once you hit a certain threshold, people don't care, man. Like, I've been in the room with millionaires and billionaires. They don't talk about the same stuff that middle class and poor people talk about. They don't talk about this kind of stuff. And so when you move further up into successful circles, your conversation shifts, and the whole race thing and all that stuff. That because you're a product of your achievement, and that's what they see when they look at you. They see achievement, and so men need to become men of people of achievement, and just let black go. Let it go.
Yeah,
Right. Focus on winning.
I look at with them ones they putting in these movies like Viola Davis, and you had the Women of Wakanda or whatever that last movie was.
The Warrior Women.
Oh yeah, them. Yeah,
the King. Yeah, the Warrior King. Yeah.
Yeah. Now they can get the dad from me, but that'll be about it. They can get that dad action.
Huh.
Dad. That's an acronym for Dick After Dark. They got to be gone when the sun come up, though. I ain't gonna be seen with them in public. They can get that dad. They can get that dad.
About to buy me a dad hat, dad mugs, dad shirts.
They get that dad. I got a t-shirt. It's got dad #1, bright red, and the letters are stitched on it and everything. And they're like, #1 dad. Yeah, they think I'm talking about fatherhood. I'm like, no, I ain't. You can get Dick After Dark, but when you got to be gone before the sun come up.
Yo, let me pass the mic. We got a newcomer on the panel, Mr. Royce J, another first timer. Welcome to the show, man. Glad to have you. Let me drop this down so people can get a look at you a little bit. All right, welcome to the panel, brother. What do you got for me today?
It's like a long time no hear, bro.
Well, hey, what up, man? Who is that?
That's Tice, Sir Tice.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, I just come in to, I want to talk about. I'm trying to start the boule. I'm trying to do the neo boule, where I'm going to start up a brand new Jack and Jill society, because I'm tired of these. I'm tired of these motherfuckers, man. So my plan is to race mix everybody in this country to everybody look like Boris Kojo, Tiger Woods, or something. I'm tired of you inbred motherfuckers, man. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, bro.
Oh yeah. I'm tired of these inbred motherfuckers, man. As regard to the topic, I think what we're starting to see more and more, people are tired of Brenda and Keisha running their mouths unabashedly, and they're catching the pushback. No, people are getting sick of it, man. Everybody. That Stop Asian Hate bill, that was for them. That bill was for them. You know how they like to go up in them shops and act the fool? That bill is for them. They use all the footage of Brenda and Keisha acting a slap fool to push that legislation for that bill. And it's about to be real hard.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Royce. Sorry, I was muted up before, but we was listening to you. With the Asian hate bill, you reminded me of something, and another thought I've been wondering. And maybe this is too much to blame on black women entirely, but I will sort of put black women at the tip of the spear. Do you think people in general are starting to get over black people? Just a little bit sick of us, maybe, perhaps?
Oh yeah. I think it's happening. Man, on TikTok, on TikTok, the Wakandans like to run around and harass Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and tell them you is black. And they are pushing back hard. And their basis for pushing back is, okay, we got sub-Saharan African DNA, but we got this other stuff too. We are our own people. Y'all keep that nonsense over there with y'all. Then you got what's called the golden sphere, on YouTube. And this is a biracial.
The golden sphere?
A golden sphere.
Yeah, the golden spheres, the light, bright, Daniel White.
Hold up. Educator brother.
The golden sphere.
Okay, who are these new magical people? I love to find magical people. Hold on.
No, GG, the golden goddess. You know about GG.
I haven't heard of none of these people.
No.
It's the golden sphere.
Look, hey, you can't define a word by repeating the statement. What is the golden
Right.
sphere?
Explain. Hold on. Let's go.
Okay,
Let's
the
go back to
golden
Mr.
sphere
Royce because
is
you introduced the term.
I
Hold on.
can break it down to you. The golden
All right.
sphere
All right.
are
All right.
all of the black people that are my complexion and above or biracials. Yeah.
You niggas got your own YouTube. Yo, this light
It's a
skin privilege got to
whole
stop.
little
I'm
you
getting sick
dig
of you
that they
niggas. I
working
really
on.
am. I wasn't sick of y'all before
The
now.
light skin sphere.
Yes, as they call it, the golden sphere. The
It's
Yo,
exotic.
I'm about to infiltrate.
light skinned niggas.
I'm about to infiltrate the light skin side of YouTube. Yeah, exotic YouTube.
It's light skinned niggas strike back. You know?
It's straight crazy because they was like, well, I said my nationality is Creole, okay, but since that's not listed, whenever I fill something out, I got to click other, X other in the box and write it in.
So you write Goldie? Do you write Goldie in the box?
No, I don't write
what do you
Goldie.
write?
I write Creole. No, I ain't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just start writing Goldie.
And it's basically women, because see, the women don't want to lose their power. They don't want to lose their power because see, from what I've seen as a whole, light-skinned brothers love them some dark-skinned sisters. We look at them light-skinned chicks, and it's like, no, just no, because we got teased so much. We like, can we have some brown babies that they ain't gonna have people running up? Like when I was a kid, I'd be at the swim pool swimming. They'd run past and slap me on the back just to watch me turn red and stuff. We had it hard in the 70s. True story. And it's true because you ain't never heard that shit before.
You think you had it hard? Okay, I come from a Afro-Latin background, Belizean, Honduran, and Puerto Rican. But I'm 75% sub-Saharan African. And so when people see me with my relatives, they're like, they would ask questions like, how are you related to them? And I'm like, we're related. And they would say, oh, you one of them, you ain't really a nigga. And I'm like, the boats all stopped off at other places before they got to the United States. You know that, right? So yeah, I had to deal with my own special set of issues. I got a lot of girlfriends coming up because I had that, that Vaseline wave brush hair. So, but I had to deal with some dumb shit too. Yeah,
you ain't by yourself.
Yeah, I know what you
Imagine this. Imagine your family changed their name to something other than doggone a French name just to try to calm shit down. See, my original family name is Shallouette.
Yeah.
They changed it to Caldwell.
A strong black name, huh?
Stuff out, make it sound more American than French Canadian. Yeah. I'm like, I know my background. Like, some folk, man, we was this, we was that. It's like, hey, I tracked my name back over 250 years before I was born, and all of our people, and this is how we track ourselves. We all name our children after somebody in the family, and that's been going on for centuries. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm named after my uncle. My son is named after his uncle and my best friend. My sister is named after her aunt, which is named after her great grandmother, which is named after. I mean, we keep all the same names in the family.
Well, I've been thinking about this too. Like Black America, probably more than any other ethnic group, definitely more than even white people, right? We have like almost a complex about race. Because like nobody's probably more racist to black people than other black people. You guys just sort of described the whole light skin, dark skin racism within black people, like within the culture. And I think it's just, I don't know, maybe baked into American history. I remember reading a book years ago about it was called Life on the Other Side of the Color Line, something like that. And it was somebody's like autobiography. And basically they grew up in a family where the dad was like a really, really light skinned black person, and the mom was another really, really light skinned black person, and they all tried to pass as white. And they spent their life trying to like blend into white society as like, I guess they told people that they had an Italian grandfather or something like that. And, that's why they're not as white as the rest of the white folk. But in reality, they wound up basically like hiding from everybody. You were hiding from the blacks and you were hiding from the whites too. And it's just, black people, for just a lot of reasons, we got a weird complex about race in this country, and this is what I've been talking about this whole day, and I'm probably going to wind the show down soon. We passed 3 hour mark now, but it's just a weird thing that it's stuck in all of our minds. This whole racial, it's like a weight that never gets lifted.
Yeah, well, you would be amazed at how many people do not know about the Blue Vein Society.
Oh, okay. Educate a brother a little bit more. The Blue Vein Society.
Okay, the Blue Vein Society was comprised of black people, and in order to be in that particular society, you had to extend your arms, and they would look at your arms, and if they could see the blue veins through your skin, you're in. But if they couldn't see the blue veins through your arms, you wasn't in because you had too much pigmentation.
So like black blue bloods, huh?
And that happened right after the Emancipation Proclamation, going into the Jim Crow era. Just type it in on YouTube, Blue Vein Society. That shit is deep.
You know what? Wow.
That alone, knowing about the Blue Vein Society, I can't doggone hold anybody dark skinned accountable for hating somebody light skinned for what the Blue Vein Society did as of separating themselves from Black America, being middle of the road. We're not white enough to be white, but we're too light to be black. So we're our own little, you dig, like the Golden Spear. That's that Blue Vein Society bullshit. Y'all look that shit up. Google that shit up.
You're gonna have me researching the ancient history of Team Light Skin. Y'all some crafty niggas, man. I got to tell you, all this stuff about Team Light Skin.
We got to dig into the mythology. Yeah, you'd be amazed at how many people are not familiar with that.
Yeah, it's some more mythology for us to look up.
We've been joined by Trey again for the 3 hour cringe moment. So thank you for rejoining the panel. We right on time, brother. Right on time.
Oh yeah, man. I'm in the white man's grocery store and I had to get off. But yeah, man. I hear the brothers talking, man. The whole, I heard you talking, bro, about the whole Afro stuff, from Afro this, Afro that, and that's one of the hijacks, man, that they trick us with. And I know a lot of people out there don't, believe in the diaspora myth, but the diaspora myth is one of the ways they suck you in. They suck you into believing that you're not American and that, you won't hear. Because think about it. Black folks been here the longest out of anybody here. Them $5 Indians out west or whatever. Nah, we've been here longer than them. Most of the white folks didn't come to the turn of the century, on them, with Ellis Island. So what they turn around and do, they get a white boy named freaking Melville Hershkovitz to convince black folks that they ain't from here. So as long as they do that, they can keep dissension. As long as they keep you thinking you ain't American, boom, they got you.
And they don't talk about the Aboriginal Africans, the first settlers on the planet.
Why should they, man? It's not our business. We ain't African. That's not our business.
They encompass South America, moved up to North America. Now, I told somebody, my belief, this is where you had them other people where they came in. Now, you had the Aboriginal Africans that were in the United States. You had the ice bridge that melted.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. But that's what I'm saying, bro. It's not no Aboriginal Africans. We've always been American. We've always been American.
Well, yeah, I don't want to go. I don't want to go too far back to the.
When you got the Mongoloids,
let's not go back to the ancient land bridges.
Yeah,
but when you got the Mongoloids that crossed over,
y'all niggas moonwalking history and oppression again.
Yeah, I had a phone call. Sorry, yeah. Let's not go back to the ancient land bridge. I will say this. I want to go back this far. And even as far as like the Blue Vein Society and all that, that's that was interesting. I had never heard anything like that. But
yeah, that was some turn of the century type shit. Check that out. You'll be like,
Right.
what in the?
Well,
Huh?
the question that it raises. Hold on one second, Trey. The question that it raises for me, and this is sort of, I guess, the last question I'll ask before we wind this show down. I think Black America definitely shifted at some point from, and I think I probably brought this up earlier. We at one point wanted to be seen as, as Americans, like you were saying, Trey, we're Americans, right? But we went from wanting to be seen, as equal to the white man to now we want to be basically like something. We don't want to be American anymore. And my question is like, do you think Black America did better? I mean, I guess it was like, while we were oppressed too, but did Black America do better when we were trying to be equal to white America?
I just look at it like this, man. When I ran the genealogy of my family, bro, we were balling. Like light skin, dark skin, didn't matter. Everybody was balling. Everybody was patriotic. I can go all the way back to World War II. You know what I'm saying? 5 generations now in the service. And it was chilling. And I talked to a whole lot of people. It's the same thing. And then all of a sudden, Jesse Jackson comes around in the late 80s with this whole African crap.
Yes, Africans, Americans. That much.
Yep, in Chicago. Trying
Right.
to
We went from being
Jesse.
African to American. I mean, we went from being Americans to Africans. Like, I think we were better off as Americans, right? But that's just sort of my thesis, right? That's the question I have.
But my last thing, y'all, because I know Hood, I'm not going to go cringe past the 3-hour mark, is this. We should be thinking, just like that white man said, why should I go to Africa? Why should I care about them? If brothers had that mentality, they realize, because trust me, the African cats that come over here, they don't give a damn. They surely don't give a damn. They ain't trying to link up unless they trying to grift like your brothers in the space.
Africans don't be worried about no white supremacy. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, I have a short story about that take 30 seconds to tell. My best friend, he's married to a woman that's from Romania. That's right here in Georgia. She know I'm single. She was trying to do the hookup thing because she had this real nice friend that she wanted me to meet. I said, well, where is she from? She said she's from Ghana. I told her, I don't date African women. And she was twisted. She was like, huh? I said, I don't date African women. Now, if you got a friend from Romania, it's all good. But I'm not dating no African women, no. Because they don't come here wanting us worth a damn from the get-go gate.
Hey,
they see us as a step down. How you gonna come to my country and see me as a step down?
Hey, they want the same. They want the same thing the queens want here. They want them pretty babies with the good hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why they got hairs the shape of light bulbs? You know how a light bulb is shaped? You can tell who from where in Africa. Just look at the hair shaped like a light bulb. Small hair. They get rounded at the top. Yeah,
he got a
light bulb head. Stop me when I lie.
Oh man.
Wow, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop down too, man. But like I said, let Black go, man. You'll get further if you let it go.
I love white supremacists of color like myself. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
Yeah, me too.
You know what? Black is cool. Just some parts of it you got to build a fence around and let them fight it out like in a gladiator pit. and stay away from it, man. I mean, the community in its current state, it's trash. It's trash. And it's ran by you got Pookies running around, but it is run by the Pookie factory, which is Keisha. Keisha and Brenda and Tamika, and it's ran by them. It's their domain. They are the queens of hell, and let them have it. Let them have it.
Yeah.
Come on over here to my side and join my boule cult, the neo boules, and we gonna mix this up to everybody look like all our kids look like The Rock or look like what's her name, Karen Jones.
See?
You know, that's how I look at it. We gonna make everybody look like Louisiana Creoles by the time we done.
And that's what's happening. Because when you said Tamika, I was like, it reminded me of somebody I met when I was in the Army that was named Tamika. Now I nicknamed her Coochie Booty because she had on a cat suit, and if from the front all you see is coochie, she turn around, you see the booty. So I started calling her Coochie Booty. Now, you know, she was from the boot, and I was trying to get at her, but she didn't want to, and I'm like, yo, what's up? You know? And she broke it down. She's like, look, if the way things is going in the boot, if you a sister my complexion, you're gonna get with a light skinned brother, the family like gotta vote you in. Like I didn't know this already, but I'm like, we in the Army, so shit, ain't nobody gonna know. You know what I'm saying? Your people ain't gonna know, my people ain't gonna know. Because that's a cardinal sin thing in the boot, You mess around, bring dark skinned woman home, your whole family look at you, you light skinned, and your whole family look at you like.
Okay, bro, you gotta enlighten me because I do not know what the boot is. What is the boot?
Oh, Louisiana.
Louisiana. Look at the state. It looks like a boot.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I can see that.
And and that's very in common with France. You ever looked at the two different? Yeah, look that doggone Italy and look at Louisiana. Yeah. Even the land masses match.
Yeah, Italy's another boot with a soccer ball in front of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, guys, y'all been awesome guests, man. Especially be first time on the panel. I'm so glad to have you both up here. But I'm gonna wrap this thing down. So I'm glad to have you both up. I'm gonna drop you guys down and I'm gonna wrap this show up, man. Thank you both for coming up.
Bro. Peace.
Hey, not a problem, bro. Hey, I appreciate you letting me up. Hey, I'm gonna hit you in the back chat, man, because I want to do some more stuff with you. All right, Hoodservative?
Yeah, throw an email or something in there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop my email in the back chat and you just email me, all right?
All right, cool.
All right.
Later.
Oh, I'm sitting here typing. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up. I want to thank everybody for coming. And wow, that was actually an interesting conversation. I didn't expect to have a good panel like we just did today. Mr. Royce J. Yeah, stay in the back chat, Mr. Royce J. I'm going to type my email in there 1 second. Hold on. Oh shit, forgot my damn email address. All right. At gmail.com. Sorry, it's hard typing and thinking at the same time. All right, there we go. All right, but yeah, so Joy Reid, what's her face? Joy Reid and what's the other one? Tiffany Cross. Yeah, Tiffany Cross. And it's sad because she's like cute, she's attractive or whatever, but that's the Hollywood for you. That's what the Hollywood has done for black women. It's kind of like they put us up here to lead us astray. And this again, Al Sharpton and his little jibe about you're not secure in your masculinity if you don't vote for black female leadership. It's like, bruh, they're trying to lead us into a fight that we lose and they win. That's really, even though in the grand scheme of things, even that's not how it's going to happen, but that's how they see it, right? It's like you want us to follow women. You want us to install women in a leadership position so they can like set us up so we can lose and they can win. And then when it's all said and done, they'll probably turn on us even harder and be like, you know what? I always told you them niggas was crazy. Like that's the type of shit they really on. And so, man. Ladies, nice try. And not for nothing too. Last night on my backup channel, I did cover this briefly. I covered the conversation with T. Hassan Johnson and Shez Sharday, and the question was, how can black women practically support like the black male political agenda? And I don't see it actually happening as a thing. Like, like I said, it's nice conversation for, YouTube's sake and all that. And I get it. I'm a tuber. I understand the whole content thing. But, conversation is great, but I don't see much coming from black women politically in the near future, because this is the current vibe, right? You got the energy is all wrong. Like, black women have the worst energy when it comes to the relationship between black men and black women. And you know what? I meant to bring this up on the panel actually, and it totally slipped my mind. So let me do this one last piece before we get up out of here. Do hit the like before you guys leave. Don't forget to like the show, like the video. But let me bring something up. Did you know that there is a black male sperm shortage, and it is affecting black women the most? Did you know? Did you know? Yes, yes, yes. There is. America has a black sperm donor shortage, and black women are paying the price. Who knew? SKC's firing up. All right, cool. We're going to move over to SKC in just a minute. But yeah, black America is having a
This
sperm
news
donor
story was
crisis.
written by Amber Ferguson. America has a black sperm donor shortage. Black women are paying the price. Black men account for fewer than 2% of sperm donors at cryobanks. Their vials are gone in minutes. Newark, Delaware. Every night a little after 1 a.m., following her shift as a guard at a women's prison, Reese Brooks would open her laptop, a second laptop, then her phone and a tablet, and begin scouring websites.
I gotta wonder, who is buying all the black sperm? Like, who's buying all the black sperm? It's a mystery. Like, really? And they say niggas ain't shit.
For sperm banks, opening dozens of tabs. The websites offered hundreds of potential sperm donors, allowing Brooks to select for movie star looks, height and hobbies, but when she filtered for Black or African American donors, her options swiftly dwindled. The cryobanks gave Brooks a chance at motherhood, but they couldn't provide what she wanted, a black sperm donor who could give her a child who looked like her and shared her culture. I'd say I spent 40 hours a week looking for a donor. Altogether, I think I searched more than 800 hours, Brooks said. But when it came to a black donor, she said, the choices were slim to none.
Hold up, are y'all trying to tell me that white women are buying up all the black sperm and it's leaving the black women to choose from the scraps? Is that what's going on here? It's like black women can't even win on the sperm market. Like, you can't even win on the actual sperm market. We're not even talking about the sexual marketplace value, the sexual dating marketplace. We're not talking about none of that. The actual market of just buying raw sperm. Just buy, you can't even buy sperm. Like, damn it. Soon as I got there, all the white women had got there first and all the good black sperm was gone.
Cryobanks reported that the number of black women seeking their services to conceive rose sharply during the pandemic after increasing steadily over the years. Black women between the ages of 35 and 45 are far more likely to remain unmarried than women from other racial groups, according to the latest census data, with 44% of non-Hispanic black women unmarried, compared with 16% of white women. Yet black sperm donors represent just a fraction of available supply, fewer than 2% at the country's 4 largest sperm banks, according to an analysis by the Washington Post. The severe shortage is forcing black women who need donor sperm into a painful choice: choose a donor of another race and raise a biracial child, or try to buy sperm from unregulated apps and online groups.
Now all of a sudden, you acting like you don't want a mixed baby. Stop the cap.
Reasons for the shortage are myriad: failure among cryobanks to recruit black donors, a selection process that demands a 3-generation medical history, which may be challenging for black men who may not have access to quality healthcare, and excludes donors with felony convictions, mistrust of the medical profession by black men because of a legacy of historical discrimination. The search for donor sperm usually takes place on a cryobank website where some...
Damn, it's like they say, man, all the best black male sperm is either dead or in jail. Like, isn't that the case, right? All the best black male skeet is either dead or in jail. How about that?
And can browse profiles of available donors with limited personal and genetic information. Baby pictures of donors may be available for an additional fee. On average, sperm is sold.
You know, Royce J, this probably is the future of Black Tinder, where you just get on there and you just negotiate ounces of skeet. You know, you same profile. You don't have to change the profile or whatever. They want to know that type of shit. But it's not even sex in the future. You're just gonna like sell your skeet on Tinder. You know, there's a way for the couch niggas to finally make an honest living.
Sold for $950 to $1,300 per vial. Donors receive $70 to $150 per donation. The cryobanks sell a fixed number of vials per donor to limit the number of children fathered by any one donor. There are more than 20 cryobanks in the country, 4 of which have more than 100 donors. Among the 4, California Cryobank, Fairfax Cryobank, Seattle Sperm Bank, and Zytex, supply fluctuates, but as of October 11th, there were only 12 black donors out of a total of 748.
Yeah, listen, you got to starve them out. That's what's going on here. I like this. Starve them out. Sell all your sperm to the highest white female bidder. Black men, all right, this is how you got to fight this war. Asymmetric warfare, all right? Only sell your sperm to the highest white female bidder. If she wants to take your sperm and then sell it to a black woman at another profit, like let her put up her markup or whatever, fine. Let her pay the white girl tax and she can buy the sperm from the white girl. But you sell your sperm only to white women. That's how we fight in this war. That's how we moving forward. This is how you win. This is how you win, all right? We need new strategies and new tactics for a new age of modern warfare.
White and Asian donors are disproportionately represented, while Hispanic donors are also underrepresented. Of 15 women who talked to the Post, only one was able to buy sperm and conceive a child with a black donor. The black women detailed fierce competition on cryobank websites for vials from black donors, which, they say, typically sell out within minutes. Angela Stepancic, a DC educator, recalled putting vials of sperm from a black donor into her online shopping cart only to get beaten out by a sorority sister she was on the phone with who was faster to check out. Stepancic had a mixed-race child using sperm from a Latino donor. At California Cryobank, the waiting list for an in-demand white donor is generally 3 months, according to Jamie Shamanki, the chief medical officer. The wait for a black donor there can stretch as long as 18 months. And women in their late 30s and 40s, who are facing diminishing fertility due to age, simply can't wait.
You know what? This is another indictment of the black female life choice pattern. You would rather do whatever it was you was doing all this time in your life and then get to the end of your fertility rope and then have to be put on a 18-month waiting list just for a shot at maybe getting some high grade black male sperm.
Know that if you get what you need, that means another sister won't get what she needs if she wants a black donor, too. I'm crying, fasting, praying and believing for a donor, author Candace Bembo, 40, said. I know she's doing the same, but I need to buy as much as I can, pay my storage fee, and do what I need to do. You know that if you get what you need, that means another sister won't get what she needs if she wants a black donor, too. I'm crying.
Look, they competing with each other over black sperm. They don't want to compete for the men, though. Your jizz is more valuable than you are. They will pay any price. They will shed numerous tears. They will wait on an 18-month list, right? But not for you, though. Not for you. You aren't worth it. But if you skeet in the cup, she will go through it for the cup. All right? Listen, two black girls in one cup, somebody getting pregnant. That's how that goes in the black version. 2 black girls, 1 cup, one of these bitches want a baby. That's really what's happening right here.
Fasting, praying and believing for a donor. Black women are predispositioned.
Look, fasting, praying for a donor. Grieving. It hurts. The shit hurts. They're in pain.
To other fertility hurdles. They face higher risks in conceiving and carrying a child. They are more likely to suffer uterine fibroids and other conditions that can compromise fertility, and 3 times more likely than white women to die of a pregnancy-related cause. And yet they are less likely to be referred to specialists.
Look, and the babies might kill them. The babies might kill them. They will rather face it alone. So I don't need no man. I'd rather die. I'd rather die alone. All right, I will fight. I will fight this woman's battle without no man. Lord, kill me. Strap me to the table. They don't give a fuck.
Than white women, said Michael Thomas, president-elect of the American Society of Reproductive Medicine. One of the biggest problems that we face as fertility doctors is not getting those patients in sooner. And we see the gynecologists sometimes dragging their feet in those referrals because they just assume that these patients are going to get pregnant on their own, Thomas said. Some may believe, inaccurately, that black women are hyperfertile, he explained. The women all said they love their kids, but they regret their lack of options. When you are in this position, sometimes you have to take what you can get, said Sandra Wiley, a caseworker in Chicago who had a daughter and a set of twins using sperm from a donor of Indian origin. By February 2021, Reese Brooks had spent months on an increasingly desperate effort to conceive a child with sperm from a black donor when she drove 2.5 hours from her apartment in Newark, Delaware, to Fairfax Cryobank in Northern Virginia and picked up a 10-pound cryotank containing 2 vials of sperm from a 5'10" Peruvian man who practices MMA fighting. After spending $2,000 on 3 failed insemination procedures with sperm
Yo, her black male sperm connected is a 5'10" Peruvian man who's an MMA fighter. And she drove 2.5 hours from Newark to Virginia to meet the sperm plug. And she had to lug this 10-pound canister all the way back to her car and put this 10-pound canister of sperm in her trunk. God, why is there no rewind button? Oh, Lord, please, why do I need a rewind button? No, I didn't just hear that. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, let's go back 15 seconds. Please go back 15 seconds. Oh, that was that was a life's mission. That was the journey of a life. Like, bitch, gonna write a Lifetime movie about this journey. Newark to Virginia in search of Skeet. Oh, a black woman's struggle. Oh, my God.
In Newark, Delaware, to Fairfax daughter and a set of twins using sperm from a donor of Indian origin. By February 2021, Reese Brooks had spent months on an increasingly desperate effort to conceive a child with sperm from a black donor when she drove 2.5 hours from her apartment in Newark, Delaware, to Fairfax Cryobank in Northern Virginia and picked up a 10-pound cryotank containing 2 vials of sperm from a 5'10" Peruvian man who practices MMA fighting. After spending $8,000 on 3 failed insemination procedures with sperm from a cryobank, Brooks had conceived in 2019 using sperm from a close friend who is black.
You see, that nigga broke the code. You was supposed to let her spend another $8,000. I bet she didn't give you $8,000. I bet she didn't give you no $8,000. Hold on, you see what I mean? Now you got to starve him out. Only sell your sperm to high-paying white women. Like, what the hell? This is how you get rid of them Tiffany Crosses and shit like that. Let them be raised by nice, proper, like, Nebraska, Kansas, Mormon type white women. Let them be raised in a good, loving home, okay? Don't be selling your skeet. He probably gave it away for free. He probably gave it away for some pussy. That's what he did. She was like, look, man, I'm going to let you hit it all week, and I'm going to keep checking and see if I'm pregnant. As soon as I come up pregnant, you can't hit it no more, right? That's the deal. I'm telling you, that was the deal. She said you can hit it until I get pregnant, and then now she got pregnant, and she ain't give you a dime. She probably made you bring your own weed, bring your own liquor. She ain't give you nothing. Niggas is fucking up, bro. Hold the line, man. You gotta hold the line.
Vials of sperm from a 5'10" Peruvian man who practices MMA fighting. After spending $8,000 on 3 failed insemination procedures with sperm from a cryobank, Brooks had conceived in 2019 using sperm from a close friend who is black. But she lost her son, Kemet, after she delivered prematurely at 24 weeks. When Reese felt ready to try again, her friend was in a new relationship and didn't feel comfortable being her donor. And when she filtered for a black donor on the Fairfax Cryobank site, she said she was left with just 3 options out of more than 100 donors, 2 of whom were positive with CMV, cytomegalovirus, a leading infectious cause of birth defects. We continue to work hard to recruit more black donors, Morgan Barker, senior marketing manager at Fairfax Cryobank, said in an emailed statement. There are several in the pipeline who should be available at the beginning of next year, and a few more are in the screening process. There's so many good African American men out there. Maybe they just don't know how much they're needed to create families. Brooke said she had to. There are several in the pipeline who should be available at the beginning of next year, and a few more are in the screening process. There's so many good African American men out there. Maybe they just don't know how much they're needed to create families.
What?
Brooke said she had to take race off. There are several in the pipeline who should be available.
I gotta hear that one more time.
Available at the beginning of next year, and a few more are in the screening process. There's so many good African American men out there. Maybe they just don't know how much they're needed to create families.
Oh, this is too good. I should have done a whole show on this alone. I could have done a whole show on this alone. This is too rich. You mean to tell me the women who are looking for sperm donors have the nerve to say there are so many good black men out here and they just don't know how much they're needed to start a family? Yo, why is this too good? This is a whole other. Oh my God, I can't believe how insane this is. And we're not even done yet. I haven't even read this article all the way through. I just knew it would be good because just the idea alone, I'm like, oh yeah, the cringe is here. I can feel it. I can feel the power of the cringe coming off the laptop when I pulled up this article. Like my laptop is just emanating cringe right now.
Brooke said she had to take race off my wish list and start to broaden my search if I wanted to be a mother. She and her girlfriend at the time started looking at Latino donors, arguing often about which donor to choose. After Zuri was born in November 2021, Brooks, who was newly single, posted to her 49,000 followers on TikTok. She said she was shocked by the negative reaction to the video of her infant daughter. I got comments like, of course she's mixed, and you only wanted a light-skinned baby. You don't like being black, Brooks said. She acknowledges that she and Zuri don't look much alike. I am not going to raise her strictly in the African American culture because that's not who she is, Brooks said. I'm learning as much as I can right now about Peruvian culture. She wants Zuri to have a sibling and hopes to purchase.
Shout out to all the strong black women raising Peruvian babies. You are a strong black woman if you are raising a Peruvian baby in his proper culture.
There's more vials from the same donor. There's so many good African American men out there, Brooks said. Maybe they just don't know how much they're needed to create families. Until the past few years, the fertility industry was marketed primarily to white people. If you went to any website for any fertility clinic in the United States before 2020, you actually very rarely saw any evidence of people who just by sight looked like a person of color on their websites, and there were no babies of color, said Cindy Duke, a reproductive endocrinologist and virologist in Las Vegas. There wasn't much thought given that there may actually be a black intended single mom or a black same-sex female couple that's in need of a black donor, Duke said. Recruiting efforts for sperm donors were also targeted at white men, according to Duke, with cryobanks relying on social media, paid online ads and word of mouth to reach potential donors. Now, however, the primary customers for many sperm banks are single women and same-sex couples of all racial groups. At the Sperm Bank of California, the country's only nonprofit cryobank, about 20% of calls come from Black women, according to Program Director Kenya Campbell.
Black women are probably 8% of the population, and they are roughly 20% of the sperm bank phone callers. Interesting.
Experts say the expansion of fertility insurance benefits is helping more women freeze their eggs and conceive children through reproductive technology. The sperm banks say they have tried to recruit Black donors and want to meet their customers' needs. Over the years, we have spoken to African American fraternities and student organizations to try to increase our number of applicants. This has not been very successful, California Cryobank Shamanki said. She added that it's proven to be challenging to hit the right tone and appeal to these donors rather than further alienate them.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I got to get out of here. I really do. I might have to come back to this because we're only halfway through this, and I might just start over and revisit this at another date because, yeah, this is, wow. This is funny. This is good stuff. This is like real world, sad, funny. But no, I can't. I got to get going. But guys, all right. Now we're finally done. We are finally done. But wow. Listen, don't donate to any more sperm banks, bro. This is how you gotta get them, bro. This is how you gotta get them. Yeah, SKC is on. We're about to move over to SKC. I know he doing some fuckery. I know he doing some fuckery fresh and live, so we about to go check him out. But wow, man, we gotta starve him out. We got to starve these hoes out. This is not good. This is not good. I'm about to tell SKC, matter of fact, this is what I might do. I might tell SKC and see if he takes the bait. See if he wants to dive into the Black woman sperm donor problem. That is amazing. There is a shortage of Black male sperm donors, and Black women are suffering the most. How about that? I am flabbergasted. Who knew there wasn't enough Black skeet? Like, who knew there wasn't enough Black skeet to go around? But there's the link to the article in case you guys were wondering. And yeah, we are just about done here. Once again, thank you to the chat. Thank you to everybody who donated to the show. Love your participation and all that. We got to get up out of here. It's good to be back off punishment, fresh off break, fresh out of jail. You know how we do. They hate me, but I do good work here. I do good work. We got to go. We got to go, though, man. Appreciate you guys. Y'all take it easy.
What Black community? It's a Black environment with Black women and Black children in it.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help Black people.